found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook.
Wherever you go. To the news, you can swing with the blues on this wonderful, wonderful station. Just take a lively companion wherever you go. Take a portable radio. Take a portable radio.
Now, here comes the music.
Well, I got a word wrong even before we made the air. I missed a letter. It's funny.
Big time.
An L can make two different words altogether very different. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's The Show. It's a Tuesday night. This is Clayton McKee alongside Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer, and look at that. There's Doug Wilkie, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, all.
Al Perkin had to take the night off because they offered him a Shamrock Shake and a McRib if he would come in and fill in tonight.
Oh.
So
I'd be a nurse for a Shamrock Shake and a McRib. What do you need? You need me to start an IV? I'll start poking people.
What do you ever do?
What does it take here? I'm in.
Figure it out somehow. Anyway, Al literally just like an hour or so ago said, "Hey, I can't be there." I'm like, "All good." Doug was fortunate enough to not have anything else to do tonight.
Nothing better to do in my life.
You're
but
just
come
saying
here.
nice things about everything.
I
About everybody. Just
You're making us all feel good.
am ringing every bell tonight
Don't
on
talk
the
about
flattery. On the flattery case, I tell you, there's
Flattery, whatever.
whatever. It all works. Who cares? My good
Potato, Weight Watchers.
Yeah, whatever, right?
yeah.
Right, sure.
Same song.
Speaking of which,
Let's call the whole thing.
Potatoes
see-
or Weight Watchers?
Let's call the whole thing off.
actually, I was going to say Nutrisystem because Marie Osmond does their commercials.
Oh, and thank God for
And
her.
Atta
this
girl.
NBC plays that commercial with Marie Osmond about every 17 seconds.
They do.
No.
And every time I just laugh because I think, I know, there's just something about Marie Osmond doing the commercial. And I mean, which, fine, she lost 50 pounds. Great, I'm all good at it. But there's just something in the way that when they cut to her and she goes, measure, score, not with Nutrisystem. And I'm like, well, it's not fucking magic. They just feed you smaller portions.
Right.
Then go ahead and try to eat
Oh,
stuff
that is
later.
magic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it
I'd
is
have never
magic.
thought of
Yeah,
that.
if you have restraint, because I did Nutrisystem a year ago, and I did lose like 30 pounds. Like it did, but after a couple weeks, I'm like, no, we cannot do this because their food was fine. It just wasn't big enough.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not enough.
Right. Well,
I
and
don't
once you
think-
get used to doing that, they don't teach you how to eat like a typical person would eat.
Like to go out to eat or something.
Go out to eat or when you're done with Like
And
you're
make-
either
making
on
your own food.
Nutrisystem the rest of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
And therefore you can keep it all up.
Paying their rates
'cause
forever.
It's not cheap.
Oh no, it's not.
Right? And then but you don't learn how to eat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just going to have a submarine sandwich about that right now.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
you know,
We'll talk
I'm just-
about
Good
that.
thinking.
Yeah.
I should have stopped for that ice
I'm
cream I
just
was
saying,
craving.
right?
Oh sure. Well, you'd have to bring it up for all of us.
That's right.
Says you.
Yeah, don't be stingy. Don't be stingy.
Fight me.
Okay.
They've got those half gallons on sale.
I'm just saying.
Fries, I can just pick them right up.
what I'm
Yesma'am.com. But we all have. What snacks do you have, Kat? I don't see any with you.
I don't have any snacks
You didn't bring
today.
any
I'm
snacks
snack
tonight.
free.
Well, I have a bowl full of cherries. You're welcome to some of that.
They look to be grapes, but yes.
Doug ate whatever the hell he ate.
My salmon
What did I
Caesar
say?
sandwich.
Cherries?
Yes, you did.
God,
I'm with you. I was like,
they're red grapes.
They look a little more like grapes, but we can call them cherries.
Yeah. This one,
Clayton, whatever you want.
This one was an odd shaped cherry.
It's- yeah.
I think it's a strawberry.
Sure.
Actually, we're gonna leave that there. Good
that's
God.
fantastic.
Be anything you want it
We
to
have to
be.
learn to use words and look at things and identify them.
It's your world. Make it what you
Make
want.
it what? Yeah.
Oh no,
Work it out.
I'm the 2 + 2 is 4. It has to be linear. Gotta work with all that horse shit.
Grape plus strawberry equals cherry, apparently.
I don't know. We'll have another sip of coffee
Feels
first
like
and see
math.
if we can
Work
get
it
this.
out. Work
math.
it out.
Yeah, sure. My God. Well, my gosh. As we come to air tonight, I was getting alerts on my phone earlier. Again, the Midwest is just getting hammered and beat up. There are, I think around Lawrence, Kansas, there's some tornadoes on the ground. Down in Oklahoma, north of Oklahoma City, there were. And I was looking at the line of storms that is moving towards my hometown. Cousin Mike and his wife Stacy went through a whole bunch this past weekend with all their storms and
Did they?
flooding, and it's just everywhere back there.
Yep.
Right there. My aunt sent a picture of, I wish I had it. She sent a picture to my mother. She was hunkered down in her bathtub with their dog, and she had her she had her helmet on. My aunt does they do like motorbikes and
Sure,
stuff
sure.
and things. So her motorcycle helmet.
It's fantastic.
She had
Smart.
her motorcycle helmet
It is
on.
smart. But I
in the bathtub.
appreciate that picture.
But,
I
yeah.
loved it.
Yeah. So mom showed. Hi, mom.
That's
Mom showed me that
fantastic. Hi, guys.
Monday when I went up to hang out with her for a bit. But it was quite funny. But yeah,
That's
they've got a lot of weather going on, and the rain is just insane.
Yeah.
Do you, Marnie? Because I know you were with me back home once when we drove all the way across country because we want to do that again.
Yeah, absolutely. Not in the Subaru.
You may not recall that. Well, no, that won't
No,
happen.
that won't. Thank
You may not recall this, but from where the family house is, back up to the highway, there's a quarter of a mile of a strip.
Yeah, that's gone, right?
No, that's there. But last week, the entire thing was covered in water. You couldn't
Oh
see
my
it.
God.
Yeah.
I thought they were doing something where they were widening.
They
that.
widened the highway, absolutely, because
Oh,
now it's
okay.
like it's at the front door. Like you can drive by
Right.
and ring the bell. It's like
Talk about your drive.
yeah, literally, it's boom right there,
Ding dong ditch.
right there.
Ding dong,
Really
no
get pretty
ditch.
far.
Ding
a lot
dong,
farther
not
in
a
a
ditch.
They wound up making the ditch in the center of the front yard. Like they widened
That's
that high.
wild.
Yeah, it's very odd to go home.
And so that was all covered?
Yeah, the highway from the
Wow.
house to the corner was all covered in water.
That's insane.
It's a lot of damn water. And of course,
yeah.
water, it's all going to go downhill. So now they were talking today that obviously from Kansas to Oklahoma, to Arkansas, to Texas, all that water is going south. So there's so many levees that are just about to be. In fact, right now, downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma, there's a levee along the river that is right west of the city. That it has never been tested to this level.
Is that the one where the two barges hit it?
No,
Did you see that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I heard that, but I think that was. I might be wrong, but I thought that was closer to Oklahoma City. Maybe I'm wrong.
It may have been. It was wild to watch because I didn't catch where it was, but it was these two barges that banged into the dam.
Right, the dam.
Banged it, just smashed into it, and then sunk.
Filled and sunk. Yeah.
But the dam held up.
Yeah.
So,
No, this is
thank
actually
goodness.
an earthen levee that's alongside downtown Tulsa.
Okay.
Because on the west side of downtown there is a huge levee and a river. There's a big waterfront park and all this kind of stuff down there. What did I say? Water? Yeah. Well, it is a waterfront park, but it's not like a theme park with rides and stuff.
Sure.
It's just
It's not a water park.
Well, it's not. It's not Big
it's a river.
Sur.
I get river park. Maybe that's what I should have said. Yeah, it's
Right.
not a Big Sur
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
It's just there's trailways and walkways and all. It's kind of like Central
how
Park next to river.
scary.
Yeah, crazy
How
stuff
scary.
down there.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if, in fact, maybe I could message them and find out how they are.
Summer
and
and-
Dawn.
yeah.
Find out how they're in Claremore, which is just a 10-minute drive. Danielle, my bad.
I'm thinking. I don't know who they
There
are.
was a D. There was a D.
Now
I
I do.
didn't meet
Now
them.
I'm catching on.
Playing
But
the
yes.
part of Al Perkins
Yeah,
tonight.
right.
Well, somebody has to take up the slack. So Danielle and Summer.
Yes.
Right. They're
The
about
guy
a-
that can't remember a name.
They're about a 10-15-minute drive east of downtown Tulsa
Okay.
on the freeway. So they're in Claremore, Oklahoma.
And there are, I'm going to look up. There were a couple more people that I was thinking about.
Does any of that ever get back home from where you are, from the Twin Cities?
It typically doesn't nail the cities as much as it does because there's so much kind of water for it to go into and different places to kind of fill before it overflows.
Okay.
But
That's flooding. I'm thinking more
right.
tornadic activity.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because I was gonna say, with the flooding, it usually will hit Fargo.
Okay.
And then, that's I don't know if you remember years ago, there was a huge flood that came through and it just decimated parts of Fargo and went into northern Minnesota. It was crazy. But the tornadoes, growing up, we always had tornadoes. We always had you'd hear the sirens go and you'd hear all that. When I was home, I think it was in '98, I was home and I hadn't really been home for that kind of weather. I'd been home for the really shitty weather, the really snowy kind of all that kind of shit. But not during the
The other
summer
bad
when
weather.
the other bad weather, right?
Two extremes
either
you got
Monday
there.
or Tuesday in Minnesota. But all of a sudden, I was at my friend Mary's house and we're in her dining room and we're looking out and it's beautiful out, just gorgeous day. And then it wasn't. And then the trees were sideways.
Yeah.
How it just comes out of nowhere
Yeah.
and it just got green and still.
And it's- and
Everything was eerie still.
And it's a weird color. You're right. It usually comes an odd color
Yeah.
of stuff, and then
dusty green, it was, and then all of a sudden the trees were sideways because it was still, and I'm like, that doesn't look. I said, should we go to your basement? And she looked at me like I was, 5 heads and just crazy. She's like, seriously, Ryer, we're gonna be okay, because the Minnesotan in me would have been just sitting in the living room, being
right,
like, whatever.
But you're a little
Having been gone,
right.
I was like, I'm not used to this. Wait a
You're a
minute,
little
this is
diluted
crazy.
Minnesotan. Yeah.
Oh, it scared the shit out of me, and of course, then it was. Thank goodness, it was fine. But then I heard the sirens.
Yeah, they've had a hell of a
out,
season,
yeah.
spring this year.
And now up north, in for anyone with it's Drew's birthday today, Drew Hahn.
Okay.
But thinking of with Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas, it's been snowing.
Yeah.
And they've had freeze warnings up
Flagstaff,
until
Arizona.
Right here in Flag.
Absolutely.
On
sure,
Monday.
Sure.
That'd be
Sure.
yesterday.
Crazy.
What the hell?
And we're almost to June 1.
Yeah.
That's just squirrely shit.
Yeah. No,
And
I
nobody's
agree.
been in their pool yet. It's freaking everybody
know
out.
it.
Yeah, we were talking to Mom about
Can't-
that.
can't get in my
It's
goddamn
hasn't been
pool.
warm enough to warm that up yet.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
but aside from that,
Can't
it is
bitch.
stunningly beautiful
No.
weather.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, just
It has been gorgeous here.
absolutely.
I haven't closed a door or a window since like
Yeah.
February.
It's
It's
know.
wide open. At my
yeah.
house.
Well, I'm gonna.
Oh,
take
I'm
it in.
menopausal. I've had the AC on, but it's
No.
been lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, still, like being
I mean,
able to.
Sure.
Fucking serious.
For those of you not listening
Too
locally here in Arizona, we have a thing like by this time usually in the summer,
It's 100
By
degrees.
April
which
1st.
this is literally a spring for us. We
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
though it technically we have seasons by the calendar. We don't. It goes
We have
from
two.
Spring happens
72 in the
January.
wind in like
Yeah.
December, January. Then it's 105, and then you get in your car and it's just everything's just too hot.
Yep.
The seat belt buckle, the steering wheel.
Don't put your
Don't put
elbow-
arm on the
don't put your arm
armrest.
down, right.
Everything is just too fucking hot to deal with.
Yep.
But right now we're able to live like everybody else does
Right.
for a while.
Yeah.
Very strange. I don't
It
trust
is.
it.
No, you're right.
It's freaking me out.
Freaking you out.
Wait a minute.
Don't trust it.
But yeah, it is good.
It's like we got a month of summer
Yeah.
taken removed from the ours.
I'm
Horrible.
hoping.
Coming back
I'm-
at us.
yeah,
It's gonna
I'm
happen
hoping-
It
simultaneously.
is.
It'll
Like
be
a
hotter
100
than shit until January.
Be 140
But this-
fucking
But
Christmas
this
time.
whole month wasn't though.
Right. No, I'm
Yeah.
with you. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that.
A 5-month summer is now a 4-month summer.
Anyone that I have heard bitch or be like, God, I'm a little hot. Shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut it. Zip
Yeah.
in.
Oh, well, my friend Ricardo says all the time. We go outside and it's like it's 74 degrees and it's breezy at night.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, God, it's cold. I'm like, it is. Now, how is this cold? It's
know.
not cold.
But when
It
you're
did
used
feel
to
cold
going
the other
out-
night. I was still. I
wonderful.
think I got home at like
It's-
2 o'clock in the morning. It was 65 degrees. Like,
Brr.
That's
I
not
am
cold.
cold.
That is lovely.
That I couldn't remember. I was trying to think of who I had been kind of concerned about and whatever. And it's Brandy and Tamara.
All right, because they're in Tulsa. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they and there was something that Brandy had on about Tamara. I guess was at work and Brandy was like underground
Yeah.
for days. It sounded like 3 or 4 days.
Brandy,
like, underneath, with their kid.
right, they're at home and
Or back to tornadoes. I'm like, wait, is
Right,
she a
I'm sorry.
minor?
I couldn't
she's
remember.
a minor.
Right.
Brandy Sokolowski,
It's
now
like a-
minor in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Baby
right.
Jessica's
Crazy.
situation?
Yeah.
What happened?
Sorry. I was trying to figure out
Brandy's
who it was,
in the
and then I'm
well.
like, that's who it is.
Where is she, Lassie? Where is she?
Brandy's in the well. Show me. Take me there.
Take me to the well. No, but
Stop listening for 1 second.
Tamra,
You forget what the
Tamra
hell
is
happening.
security for a school in Tulsa, and so she has an entire campus she has to oversee.
Oh, wow.
And and she has staff there that's typically there 24/7.
Okay.
Students clearly are not, and I would assume based on the time of I don't know they. I don't know if class was in or not. I have no earthly idea.
Sure.
But yeah, she oversees a security for an entire campus back there.
Okay. Like a college campus?
No, it's a school. I believe it's a high school.
Okay.
And I want to say I'm maybe incorrect on this, but I want to say it might be an all. Is it
an
a
all-girls
charter school or
school
a girls' school? I've forgotten.
Okay.
And she told me the name when I saw her when she was here in April.
Okay.
I talked to her. We were talking about that the very thing about how she had to. She came in with a bunch of rent-a-cops.
Yeah.
And she's former police, and she's like, and they were like just a little bit of a mess.
Sure.
And she's like, no, here's how we're gonna do this. And then there was something that happened once on campus that the Tulsa Police Department, I don't know what happened, and they roll up on her scene, and they wouldn't tell her anything, and she lost her mind. She's like, oh no, I know what police procedure is.
Right.
And because Tamara Williams is a 3-foot little woman.
Spitfire.
Yeah, she's a
Yeah,
Spitfire, but she's a
yeah.
tiny little thing.
You're right, you're
Like
right.
when she would walk up to the car as the officer was sitting in it, she's eye to eye.
Oh,
But you don't
Right.
fuck with her.
No.
No, I do
Oh,
I do
no.
like an HBIC in
Oh,
any industry.
Yeah, so she got that
Any
corrected right
profession.
quick and made sure that the Tulsa police
You
knew
know
who she was. Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
Uh-huh.
It's my favorite
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
I
Sure.
like that.
Very good.
Sure. But yeah, I'm glad that they're safe.
Well,
That
now
was
that the
somebody
weather
else.
segment of our show
Yes.
is completed, now let's go.
wow.
She was
Back to you in studio.
She was missing last week, but she's back, boys and
Here
girls.
I
There
am.
she's
That's
Kat
right.
Carlson.
Hello.
My God.
Has returned.
What you been
Wow,
up to,
the big
Kat?
return. Well, not a bunch. I was out of town on some family business.
Yes.
The business of sitting around with a bunch of relatives and visiting and drinking. It's good business.
Where they sit around and go,
Nice.
sure is nice weather, ain't it?
Right.
Yep, sure is.
Yep.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, Phoenix is gorgeous. Yep. Yeah. No, I've been down there for like 15 years
Yep.
now. The same conversation.
Oh, okay.
All the time. All the time.
Have the are you married and have you settled down yet? Conversations.
Oh no. They won't. They
Oh,
won't do that
we
to me.
we steer clear of that.
We stay way
Oh,
clear
all
of
right.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Good to know.
Mostly because I'll look at him like this, like
Have you met me?
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. I'll kill you.
Wow.
I'll cut
But
you.
no, so my grandparents celebrated their 65th wedding anniversary, which was
Yeah.
very cool.
Nicely done.
And even my grandmother's
Something I'll never see. By the way, I'll let you know that
three
right now.
surviving
either.
brothers. My grandmother's one of 8, and she has 3 surviving
Oh,
brothers.
wow.
Wow.
And they all came into town, which was a
That's
big deal
cool.
because her one brother had not been to Salt Lake City since like 1970 something.
Oh wow.
yeah,
And-
like since before I was
Like
born.
boycotting or
No, they're from Montana.
I can.
Well,
and
I
just-
can
just
understand.
life.
Fair
didn't travel. No,
question.
just didn't travel.
Yeah.
And
And what
Where did they
age are
go
we
to?
talking of these kids?
let's
And
see.
I say kids knowing.
Elmer's 92.
Wow.
Wow.
My grandmother is 80. Wait, it's 43 plus me. So my grandmother's 83.
Okay. Did you say 43 plus me?
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Got it.
Well,
It's gonna be
That's
a new
very
sitcom
cute.
That's how I
on
figure out
ABC.
how old my mother is and how old my grandmother is because my grandmother is 20 years older than my mother, and my
It's
mother's
not
23
20.
years
It's not
older than me.
23 in me
That's
though.
smart.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I got that.
My mother is 23 plus me.
Oh,
Because
that's
my mother
close.
was 23
Right,
years old.
but I like the little rhyme that she's got that she
Yeah.
can always remember
Yeah.
that. That's
Right,
cute.
like how old is grandma?
43 plus me.
And then Squeak's younger, so he's got to be like 78 or something like that.
I'm enjoying that. Squeak and Elmer.
Squeak and Elmer, yeah. Well,
What's
Squeak,
your grandma's
right.
name?
I don't think Squeak is a given name.
No, I don't
that's-
think so, but it doesn't matter. That's adorable. Like I
Squeak-
picture him as a greaser. You know, like
He kind of is. Yeah, super
Squeaky.
kind of is.
Like what's that
Squeaky.
oil that right.
Dippity doo.
Yeah.
No, not dippity doo. The stuff that the guys like back in the day would
Oh,
put
little
in
dabs,
Brill
yeah,
cream?
Brill cream.
Brill cream.
Brill cream.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
picturing like the
For
cones
those of you
the
that don't
Brill-
know, just Google that because
Yes.
we don't have time.
So they are all those guys.
We don't have
Okay,
time to cover
okay.
that.
Just in their 70s,
Yeah,
80s, and
totally,
90s now.
right.
They,
I love that.
All of Grandma's brothers were all those guys
Okay.
forever.
That's
You know what I mean?
fantastic.
Like jet black hair. We swore one guy like colored his hair with shoe polish because it was just that
Right,
shiny and greasy
right.
and gross.
Yep.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah, so they were in town and that was very cool. Turns out Squeak is a radical gun-toting racist too, which is a lot of fun.
Oh,
that's
there you
great.
go.
That makes
With
for
a
some
name
fun
like Squeak, that can
convo.
happen.
Yeah, it was some fun conversation. I got up and walked away 3 times
Yeah.
over
Good
the
for
weekend.
you. That's-
Because I'm not
Wow.
What are
gonna
you
start
gonna do?
a fight.
Argue?
What am I gonna
Right.
do?
Yeah.
But now
Right.
the-
Because you're gonna talk him out of
But
it.
the other side of that story is that she came back twice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair.
I mean, he's my uncle after all.
Walked away 3, but came back
back
twice.
twice.
There you are.
Well, and you know what's funny is he's actually a really nice guy and really charming. You know what I mean? I like Lyle a whole lot.
Unless you bring
But then
up
he
guns.
just like starts talking about what
Right.
he's gonna do to people on his property.
Yeah.
And then he went on a
of
whole
course.
Hillary
That's where it
tangent for a
starts.
minute,
Of
and
course.
I abruptly got up
Yeah.
the minute he said, "Well," and then Hillary, and I said, "Nope,
Nope.
I gotta go," and got up and left.
Good.
Like I'm out.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's
you know.
they just will not let that go.
And it's fine.
They won't let. Even after she's dead, they won't let it go.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll be
And
forever.
Donald will still be smart.
Yeah.
Still
But,
a
I'm,
genius.
but
Lord
my
have fucking
80-year-old
mercy.
great uncle, I'm not changing any minds
No,
here. I'm just
you're not.
And
Oh,
I'm,
no,
and
right.
I'm, right. And I'm at a family gathering, so I'm entirely too
Absolutely.
like polite and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
we're the
Well,
good.
and quite frankly, why get into that argument? Why?
Right,
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
completely pointless. Like
It's a
you said.
waste of your energy.
Yeah. But otherwise, a good time was had by all,
Good.
and I got to spend a lot of time with my grandmother, which was cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you
I
cook?
missed that. I missed
Did you
that.
cook
so I
while you were
get it.
That
Because I thought you cooked with your grandma or something.
no, grandma
Baking?
didn't let anybody. in her
baked
kitchen-
or cooked
in her
or
kitchen.
something.
Baking. I thought
No,
so
my
too.
my grandmother used to bake bread, but not often. No, that all comes from my mom and her
Oh.
grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I'm with you. I thought the baking of the bread was where.
No, that
You
was
got
that was my mom learned that from her grandmother.
Okay.
My grandmother would do it some, but not a whole lot.
Okay.
And so that skips around.
That's kind of similar to how my mom, because her grandmother, did a lot more. I mean, obviously, my grandmother was working, trying to hustle 3 kids around.
Right.
Oh.
Though grandma still cooked a lot,
Sure.
baked a lot. But yeah, my mom, I think, got it from her grandma Dolly.
Yeah.
No. But overall a lovely trip, and it's nice. It's nice to see some family, and some family. Well, I saw them, and
Exactly.
they were there.
Yep.
That was good too.
Good.
Yeah. And then just last night, I had a
Not last night, but the night before.
just last night.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Just
24 robbers came knocking at my door.
That's right.
I'm jump roping in my head. Just leave me alone. Any people might know.
No,
what
I
that
had
is.
I had quite a very fun and exciting date. I met the Doug Wilkie
Yes.
at the Thunderbird Lounge.
We had
Had
a
you not
date?
met Doug
Oh,
Wilkie
nice.
before?
It was
Well,
that new.
not at our hideout.
Was this new?
This
Yeah.
is this is now our torrid affair at
Yes.
our secret
Oh.
rendezvous
We
spot.
We met clandestinely.
I
I
never thought you
see.
two would have a torrid affair. So this
Now,
is
I
exciting.
have
Isn't that
heard
fun?
this name of this place, but
It's
I
so
don't know where it
great.
is.
It's directly across the street from
I was
Stacey's.
hoping that you were at trivia last night and you would
I
come
was at
over.
trivia last night.
I didn't even see it posted on Facebook like I normally
It's
do.
a Monday. I'm there.
All right. Well, shit. I
Hi,
was gonna
Annette.
invite you to come
Happy
over. but-
post-birthday.
Hi, Annette.
Yeah, that was
It's
the
really-
biggest trivia night we've ever had.
It's really
Oh, really?
cool.
Interesting.
8 teams.
Wow.
32 people.
Oh, wow.
I normally have 3 people and
Yeah.
maybe 12 people or
Right.
12 people
Wow.
like
I
3
would have thought
teams.
by Monday night everywhere
That's
else was
great.
tapped
I
out.
thought the
Yeah.
same thing. And I was like,
Wow.
oh, no, they came in for, and it was the first time I had to do, because normally the mics are shut off outside.
Right.
And that we just do it inside, because that's just where everybody is.
Sure.
Oh, no. We had 3 teams on the patio.
Good for you.
And I was like, oh, I'll just turn the mics on and fuck everybody else, because who cared?
That's
I had all those
fantastic.
people. It was really, it
Nice.
was fun. And I was exhausted, because I had to run in and out and back and forth just to make sure everybody was on, we all knew what was going on. I had to train the new teams, because they had never played with us before.
Right.
And no, but it was interesting. But I'm so hopeful that may be a tipping point where they tell
Keeps
2 people
going.
Or
and
it
they
gets
tell
a
2
little
people.
successful, sure.
Yeah, that's because that would be fantastic
That'd be
to
really
have that
cool.
on a Monday. But I do realize it was an anomaly because of the holiday.
Oh.
But and we might even
good, though.
bump it back to 8 p.m.
A little
because
earlier.
it's a 90-minute game, and it would go right into karaoke so much nicer, because there's a 45-minute to an hour dead spot
Sure.
between me and karaoke, and we really should just, because they have made comments. It's 7:00. It's a little harder to get there
Yeah,
sometimes.
It's
Yeah,
probably do
after
it
work.
a little later.
Yeah, but anyway, no. Just start.
So you have to come check out Thunderbird. It's
Thunderbird
wonderful.
Lounge.
Yeah, I had seen on the Facebooks, Christopher Tong, who I know and who does all the big gay sing along stuff down at Film Bar. He had posted about this like show tune, like musical Mondays that he's doing here at the
That's
Thunderbird
what I saw
Lounge.
the
That's what it
post
was, yeah.
about that, but
Okay.
didn't pay attention to where
Alan
it
and I
was.
went to the first
Yeah.
one.
All right.
And I hadn't known that, and so I put it out on Facebook, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go do this, and I sat and I thought, well, I should directly invite someone, and
Yeah.
that might wanna
Right.
talk.
That
to
may participate.
maybe. And I kind of thought about it, and I reached out to the Doug Wilkie, and he was kind enough to say yes, that he could meet me
love
there.
I said
and
I will meet you there for
I
an
love it.
alcoholic
Sure, a
beverage
little-
and show
a little
tunes.
beverage
From
and some shows.
Stacey's.
Yeah, it's across
So,
from Stacey's. It's right there with the Melrose Pharmacy
Next to
area.
Melrose
Oh,
Pharmacy.
right,
Is-
right.
okay,
Okay.
so is the
Yeah.
restaurant gone?
No, it's on the other side of
So
it.
the restaurant's on one end,
Restaurant
right?
Phoenix, Melrose, and then Thunderbird.
So it's
Got
on
it.
the other end.
Yep, it's
Oh.
underneath the wagon wheel sign.
Very cool. And if I'm not mistaken,
No, but they have no sign of their own.
no sign. Do they have Edge Studios?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what I hear, because Tammy was. Now that I think about it, she had mentioned that she was installing somewhere. And
It
I
was
didn't
so
know where.
funny because the first time I've been there like a lot because I love that place. So I've been telling everyone about it. But the first night I was there, they were trying to explain the Edge thing to me, and I'm like, I got it.
Right. Honey, it's a gay thing. We got it. We've-
yeah, I
We've
know.
had it for
Right,
we've had it
right,
for like
right.
15
And I said
years.
that.
We're
I
good.
actually
Sure.
said that. I'm like, all the gay bars have it. So you're on the right track. They're like, oh, good, we're doing it right. I'm like, yes,
Yes,
you are.
you're good.
Yeah. So
Sure.
Ah, very cool.
yeah, the owners are so. I was telling Kat, they're so nice. We saw two or three of them last night.
So
But-
what is their deal? What's their scene?
It's
super
kind of a little like
relaxed.
vintage. We went to the thrift store and
Vintage.
bought all of our fixtures, kind of a place
Inside
in a cool
vintage.
way.
Okay.
Yeah.
patio's much bigger. That's the selling point. It's beautiful
Like a big-
patio.
yeah.
Okay.
Great seating. They have a pizza on, I think it's Tuesday through Saturday or Wednesday through Saturday. 2 guys from Restaurant Progress, I guess. They have, I've never seen this before. It's like a brick oven pizza thing, but it's on a trailer. So they can bring it over. And they do pizzas for $9, $10, and $11.
That's
Oh.
cool.
And they're supposed to be really good.
Well, that sounds cool.
So they have, it's very neighborhood, like people in the neighborhood are going there.
Right.
And I thought we were talking, Kat and I were talking about like the 21st century bar now. is like not really gay, not really straight. It's just whatever.
Sure.
So they're very gay friendly. That's why they're doing the Monday night thing. But they're not like that's the gay night.
Oh
and
yeah,
don't-
poor
don't
Doug. Like
come, you know.
475 homos were in and out.
Oh my
Right,
God!
throughout
It was
the
the
night.
it was the Cat
You know.
Carlson Appreciation Society.
Oh,
I told her by the end, I'm like, you
Every
need to
goddamn
run
time
for
the door opened, "Hey,
mayor.
Cat."
I'm like, you need to run for mayor of Gaytown. But
That's funny.
Yeah.
But
he got a
it's
little
a-
taste of why Sharon won't go out with me.
Right.
But I've been like, I was
That's
telling,
funny.
so it wasn't very crowded last night, but I've been on the big busy nights, and you'll see gay couples there, straight couples, everyone's mixed. And
nobody cares.
Nobody cares, and the owners said specifically they chose Melrose for that reason. They moved into the neighborhood too. They want to live where they have the bar, and I'm a big fan. It's
That's
just
cool.
relaxing. It was fun, and it was really fun just to get to to just watch the musical stuff because I did it once with Alan, once with Kat, and so now I'm like I know so much now
Yeah, it's very
that I
fun.
never
What time
knew.
do they do the musical stuff?
8 o'clock to midnight.
8 to midnight, yeah.
Oh, so I finish about 8:30,
You could pop
8:45.
right over.
My goodness.
At this point.
We should
And I-
find a day.
and I could just
and
Yeah.
you could rendezvous with us.
I should have just texted you. I just assumed it wasn't happening because I didn't
No.
see it on Facebook. But
no, I thought I had checked in,
Yeah.
but maybe I didn't. But I thought
well,
I had
Al heard about it. I told him, and he was like, "I want to go next Monday." So
Oh.
let's see if we can pull that all off.
Yeah, let's
so.
do that for this upcoming Monday.
And we had a delicious old-fashioned
yeah,
drink.
yeah, a little cocktail.
It's wonderful.
You made it sound like the drink came from 1960.
It did.
Yeah, right?
It did.
It kind of did. Yeah.
Actually, it did. It got her seal of approval as being a classic cocktail.
Oh, I see.
nice.
Well,
It did okay.
it's good to travel with somebody who's a mixologist so they can tell if you're getting the
Yes.
good shit
If
or
you're
not.
getting shit,
Yes.
Right. You're getting shit. Oh, no, trust us. This is how they made them. Fuck, no, it's not.
fuck you. Right? But I hate being that customer. I literally will never, ever, no matter what kind of service, say, "Oh, but I'm a bartender." No.
Yeah,
no.
Nope.
No.
Not gonna do that. I'm gonna order
No.
it. If it's not great, then I'm just not gonna order it
Sure,
again.
Right.
Right.
If it's real bad, I'm just never coming back again. And
Yeah.
and then I will tell 175 people about it.
Right.
And that's sad for you.
But I'm not going to cause the
but
controversy
I'm not
while
gonna be
I'm
a
there.
douche.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
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 Yeah, so we'll
I
go
hear ya.
check it out. But it was, I thought it was fun. I like that guy. That Chris guy was really nice.
I
That's
think
not
I'm
his
actually
name.
Yeah,
friends
you
with
know-
Chris
you know
on Facebook. I
Christopher.
think so.
I'm sure you know
Yeah,
him.
he was fun. And just the numbers were really fun, and
Yeah.
it was great.
Oh
Did the
wait,
job
did
for a
Chris
Monday.
Tong used to date Bobby?
Yes.
That's where it is right there. And he's with Ripple Phoenix. He does-
Often, yes.
Yes, got it.
Yep.
I'm caught up on that. By
That's him.
God. Well, welcome back. You had a
Why, thank you.
You had a good trip. Everything went safely
Had a
and
good
well.
trip. Still
Cool.
alive.
Very good. How's the
Everyone's safe
Empire?
and sound.
How's the Empire?
Busy as always.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Ruben Gonzalez is going to be out of town for a month doing the bike thing.
Yeah, I know.
So you may have to take some slack up.
Swoop in on him.
Yeah, you go.
on his biz
My
there.
God, make a shirt or 10,000, whatever you got to do.
Sure. I mean, whatever comes my way, I'm in.
I get you.
I'm in.
Ryer,
Yeah.
what are you doing? What's going on?
Just hanging out, hanging on.
You didn't go anywhere, do anything this weekend? The big Memorial Day? No.
Well, we did two times. It's my favorite thing that you know, Aaron's a planner,
Yeah.
you know, and we always have to be on time, and I do appreciate that, you know, because I'm so
It's
good at
handy.
it.
Sure. It's,
So
it's handy to have
super.
somebody to help
Sure,
you.
she
Good
makes a
at
good
it.
effort at that.
Well, yeah, she does. She tries on her part, you know, if you're tugging me along, but.
Has she ever just left without you and had
No,
you
you know
drive?
what? The thing is that I always say that. I'm like, why don't you just go? And she's like, no, we're going together, blah,
Okay.
blah, blah. And then it just stresses me the fuck out, but digress. Anyway, so they're one of her students because the seniors obviously graduated last week, and she was in a very emotional spot because she was, you know,
Her
very
kids were moving on.
real close to this class. And so one of her students had their graduation party over the weekend, one of many, but one that she wanted to go to. And she kept telling, she's like, I put it on our calendar that Friday is the day, Friday's the day. And I thought, well, that's fucking stupid. Why do you have your graduation party Friday of the 3-day weekend at 4:00? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Also, she
weird.
lives on 91st Avenue and Camelback.
It's really hard to get there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So we take off and we go out there and
no
we,
good way to do
I
it.
feel
No,
like
there's not. There's not.
I'm reading
There's not
ahead.
the sneaky
No,
way.
So we get there, and I'm thinking, well, she's not very bright, got a lot of scholarships, but this is dumb, you know. And so we get out there, and the neighbor's house had a shit ton of cars there. The gal's house we were going to had no cars there, and I'm like, what? Did she having it next door?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what?
Did they
what's
move the
happening?
party?
Did they move the party? Right? Did something?
Sometimes
And I
you
said,
do that.
I'm like, are you sure? And I kept saying the whole way out there, I'm like, this is dumb. No one plans a party for the Friday of
At 4 in the
Thanksgiving
afternoon.
of Memorial Weekend, right? I'm like, nobody. And I was right. Nope, we went back Saturday.
Yeah.
We didn't play.
Oh, sure.
But you knew your way there.
We did very well. We got
Dress
out of there-
rehearsal.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because we got
My
out of the
mom
car.
did that once.
They call that a dry run.
This last year, my mom went to a Christmas party a day ahead, and she was outside texting. The lady was
Oh,
like,
that's fantastic.
same
Yeah.
exact thing. My mom's like, "Where are the cars?" And she thought,
Is no one coming?
no, and they're like,
God.
"Well, our cleaning lady's here, like getting ready for the party the next day." They're like, "You can come in if you want for
Yeah.
like a glass of iced tea, but there's no party."
Right. You can come back tomorrow.
Right.
And
She was mortified.
And needless to say, Erin did not text anyone, didn't call anyone, because I'm like, are you sure? Like, because this does
And
not.
she was certain.
She was adamant. And
Right.
so then she gets out of the car and she said, well, the invitation's in the very back. And she has like I do. She has a CRV. So she goes to the back and she opens it up and digs through her shit. She goes, well, it's on the 25th. And I go, tomorrow. And she's like, oh my God, get back in the car. Get back in the car really fast. And I'm like, no one's here. Like, you can tell no one is at
Oh
this
my
house.
gosh.
So when we came back the next day, the whole way back, well, this just looks so familiar. I just can't believe, I feel like I've been here at least once. Gosh, super familiar. And then we were sitting in the backyard and she didn't want the gal to know.
Yeah.
So we're in the backyard and I'm like, your home is lovely. It's familiar in some way. And Erin underneath the table, wham! I'm like, ow. You know, I couldn't help it. I just kept,
Did you ever let the cat out of
Oh
the bag?
God, no.
Oh, really?
no.
Oh, no. That would have been more
No.
fun.
That would have been way more fun. But
Yeah.
I thought, no.
What a special bonding experience
I
you've had,
thought so
though.
as well.
Isn't that wonderful?
See, that's what you need. Those,
Driving through traffic, holiday traffic at 4 o'clock, or to get there
On
by
a Friday, yeah.
that's when you be like. That's when those cameras are
love
kind
her.
of fun. I mean, you're like, there was a car looked just like yours pulled up in front of our house
I know.
yesterday.
I know. That's what I said to her. I said, "So do you?" Yes, but here's my favorite part. Saturday, she's like, "Can you drive?"
Oh, you took different vehicles.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
right. She
That's
really
actually
thought
really
that
It was
through.
No,
smart,
that's-
yeah. When we pulled up, it
That's
was
some good
very
thinking.
funny because we
It's
pulled
criminal.
up,
It's
Devious.
criminal
It's
It
thinking.
is
criminal. Exactly.
Devious.
You're exactly right.
and I love her.
I knew I liked Ernie.
And we pull up to the house and we had to park because on Saturday there were quite a few cars there
Yeah.
because it was that day.
Right.
And so where we pulled up was on the other side of where those neighbors had all these cars.
Uh-huh.
And when we pull up, I said, "Do you think they'll recognize us?" "Shut the fuck up, Ryer. Get out of the car." All right then.
Wow.
Well, they're not going to recognize the car.
Ernie was
you
a
know.
little testy.
Yeah, we're stalking the place.
Uh-huh.
We're checking it out. So it was very funny. But that was really just a lot of driving and going nowhere, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just enjoying the beautiful weather. And, yeah, just kind of hanging out. That was
Yeah,
it.
again with the weather. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so nice here.
So
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Sunday
Yes.
was just a delight.
Yeah, it was.
Just a delight. I did. And I had all the doors open and I was like, okay,
Gorgeous.
I'm happy. So yeah, that was about it.
Nice.
The end.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Douglas W. Wilkie.
Well, I had this really interesting and fun date last night.
I heard a little bit about it earlier in a previous segment.
So
Yeah?
we
Did
don't
I
have to
steal
go
your
through
thunder?
that.
I'm so
no,
sorry.
it's
Hysterical.
great. No, it was really fun. I'm glad. It was funny because Kat texted me or messaged me, and I was like, I wonder what's up. And she, I thought this is going to be something probably about the show or about Cobalt, or, and she's like, "Do you want to go out tonight?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? You don't ever go out."
Wait,
I don't know. I know.
And then she goes, "I feel remarkably social this evening.
Uncharacteristically
social." And I
Did
said,
you look at your phone?
I did. I actually
Kat Carlson. It's Kat Carlson
I
calling
went-
me. Like you wanted to show somebody.
I did, and I went, and I even told her I checked it was at the group one. I'm like, maybe she's just sending out the APB like let it
Sure,
doesn't
sure.
want to. So I checked twice. I'm like, no, that's just me. So
That's great.
It was fantastic.
You were the winner.
I was the winner. So of course I'm like, yeah, I could drive half a block down
Right,
the street from my
exactly.
house to
Yeah.
drink. So that was a big
You've done it
effort
before.
on my part. So
Do we know why they called it Thunderbird Lounge? Do they ever? Is there anything about that?
you know,
I didn't ask.
Brett, the owner the one I've talked to the most, I didn't even ask that.
The reason I'm curious, it throws me off because clearly we have a street in the city called Thunderbird, which
Yeah.
is farther north, and I just thought that there's.
No, I don't know. That's a good. They're. I don't know what the origin story is. The New Times wrote them up last week, maybe, and I haven't read it yet. Maybe
Oh.
it's in there.
Could be.
I'll find out though.
I just refined it.
They have a great
Yeah, I'm with
Thunderbird,
you. I
a
thought it was
decal
on
of a
Thunderbird.
Thunderbird. It's really
from
cool.
is it from like the Thunderbird car from back in the day?
No, like Native American
Oh, okay.
Thunderbird.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have it's on their window, and they put it on when they brand anything. That's on there.
Sure.
But
Marketing, they're on that.
yeah, no, they know. The one of them was a manager at Crescent Ballroom.
I am honestly happy though that it's not called Melrose something
No.
or Curve something.
Nope.
It's because it's an anomaly because it's if it's Thunderbird
Yeah.
Lounge. It's,
And they really want to be. I think it'd be good for you to go in and like make friends with them, like so they know because they know Stacy is obviously there, and they know people are going back and forth. But I think it'd be just kind of cool if they knew you.
no, well, who doesn't
Right.
need to
Who
know me
doesn't?
really?
Yeah.
Everyone should know.
Of
Clayton.
course.
I agree.
My goodness.
So
agree.
my other piece of news though is bad
Oh.
news.
Oh my
no.
god!
I know, and I don't normally like to
Oh.
just vent, but it only happened
Please
today,
do.
and I was kind of pissed. So, the quick story
Yeah,
is.
You're becoming more and more like Al every
Oh
minute.
my
I
god!
Yeah.
So I live right around the corner from Clayton here,
He does.
and this is my 9th year of living there, and my rent has always been really, really low. And one of the reasons I thought, but had not had confirmed, was because I have been such a long-term tenant, and keep an eye out, and kind of watch over the place. And so, haven't had a rent increase in 3 years, but I knew it was coming, and I thought, and while that's been happening, they have been renting the new people that come and go, and they have really jacked the price up. And because they didn't in this last 2 years, I thought, wow, they think I'm special. And I knew an incremental little one would be coming, and that wasn't a big surprise. So the wife, the landlord, she comes over, knock, hi, with an envelope in her hand. I'm like, I know what that is. And so she's like, we're going to be raising the rent. You haven't had a. I said, okay, great. And then she's like it was some big favor. She's like, and then it's just going to go up incrementally over the year until next year when you'll be paying what everybody else is paying. And I'm like,
So like each month.
well, incrementally up. They're not slamming.
no,
yeah.
right. So I'm saying,
yeah,
so
like
each
$50
month will be
tomorrow,
right.
and then July, and then October, and then spring, and then whatever a year from now. But it's going up $200, which is for me is a lot. And
Significant.
$200
right.
a
oh my
month.
yeah. So can I just say something? Fuck them. I'm so mad right now, and I'm trying to not be mad
Sure.
here, but
That's okay.
it made me so mad because she's so fucking greedy. But they know what they can get because of
course.
elevation. I've got
Yep.
So my bigger complaint. Well, another reason why I'm mad at them, but I'm also just mad that I can't even afford to live in the neighborhood that I love, like Central Phoenix.
That is
I am
exactly.
I have just effectively as today been priced out.
Sure.
I can't afford that, and I'm gonna have to make myself because I already after they left, I was so mad. I just started Googling. I'm like, I'm gonna look around.
No.
That shitty place across the street from me, the Icon, they want like $1,000 a month for an apartment.
Isn't
I
that
went on the
crazy?
Pearson Place ones, all those apartments on Pearson. $995, $1,000, a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. So
awful.
I don't think I'm gonna find anything. I mean, I have plenty of time. Thankfully, I'm not on a lease. They just go month to month. So I have plenty of time. So I don't know though. I don't know that I will be living in this neighborhood anymore because
Yeah,
I don't think
it's-
I can afford it.
That's what sucks. As long
it
as I've been here,
sucks.
because I came in when it was less, 19 years ago. I
Right.
came in when it was not the neighborhood it is today, and I have. It's really it's the double-edged sword. I've helped and I've worked and I've tried to clean up and make
Yeah.
it a better neighborhood, and all
Yeah.
that it's done is fucked me.
No.
Gentrified your way right
Right,
out.
I
Oh my
did,
God!
exactly.
You took the word right and Clayton
Yeah,
right out of
so
my mouth.
that's
I'm like,
exactly-
I was part of the gentrification, and now I got fucked by it.
Right.
So thanks.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of in that same boat too. I'm not sure. I don't know how this is all going to work out.
I know. So my only thought was, and I got to think about. I got to give this some thought. I'm in a 5-unit complex. The house next to me is where the residence next to me is where the houses start. And I've known her for 9 years. The two sisters live there, Teresa and her sister Rosie. So I saw them tonight before coming over here. That's how the referral for you.
Right.
And I told her the whole story because they don't like them. They don't like the landlord either. And she was like, you know, I have always wanted to rent the house out. So they have the apartment in the back, but they have the house in the front. And it was built in 1928. It's gorgeous, hardwood floors. But that's about what she wants, is what it is going up at my place. So I'm going to think about it. I have some time. I don't have to make a decision. But she made the offer again to me. And I thought, if I can't get anything cheaper because I'm so mad at the landlords, if I have to pay that amount, I'll pay it and live in a beautiful house
Right.
and rent it from her.
And how many? How
It-
big
well,
is the house?
It's so well. I don't know the square footage. It's pretty big. They did one of those things later on where they extended the front, so it's even the living room is huge. It's got it's got 2 bedrooms.
Okay, that's really
Yep.
what my point was. I
So
don't care
2
how big the
bedrooms.
living
Yeah,
room
okay.
is.
I'm sorry, 2 bedrooms.
So you could potentially
I could put an
do
office
a roommate
or have a new
if
roommate.
you wanted to. If
I
there was somebody
could.
you could tolerate, you
I
could actually
and I probably wouldn't, but I could.
do sub. You know,
No, I
supplement your
could.
cost.
And she told me too. She was like, "I'll work with you because the sister pays her rent. I'd be paying rent for the house." I know. So she was like, "I'm flexible on." She years ago she said I would charge $750 for that, and I was like, "Yeah." And I won't pay that, but maybe now I would to stay in it because the thing is I want to stay here.
Right.
You're here, Al's here, all my roots are here. I love the neighborhood. I like this whole experience. Thunderbird Lounge is here,
We can't take him away from Thunderbird Lounge.
so I'm just mad.
But it is. You're right.
They have
It's
musical
ridiculous.
Mondays.
I'm telling you, you
Yeah.
cannot go wrong.
You just you work for however long to make it better, to make life better for everybody.
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
you wind up getting shot in the foot.
I've been lucky, I guess, so far with the price, but like that's $100 out of each out of 2 paychecks in a month. Like that for some people is not a big deal, but that would alter my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I have extensive habits called going out, eating food, and,
Thunderbird Lounge.
drinking wine.
Thunderbird
So
Lounge, right.
I don't
Thank you.
want anything to get in the way
that's all
of
your
that.
Thunderbird
so-
Lounge funds.
That's
right there.
exactly right.
Oh, Jenny,
So-
I can't even imagine in Santa Barbara.
Oh, my
no,
God.
ridiculous.
Oh, Jenny,
parking
I'm coming there in July.
Parking spaces are probably my rent.
I'm an idiot.
Just for that.
Santa Barbara, Jenny, is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. I went in December for the first time. I'm going back in July, but it looks like it's so expensive, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I don't know.
So-
And I had a question while I was there. I was like, where do the poor people of Santa Barbara live? Like where do they live? Not in Santa Barbara, because Santa Barbara is kind of like isolated in a
The-
mountains are around it, and then the ocean, so
the
you
poor
can't
people
get
in
out.
Santa Barbara live in L.A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's
You're not wrong.
maybe Jenny knows.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
So.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'll have to get the other option. I thought was maybe work in the summer. If I'm going to continue to not teach, if I could get
Sure.
some kind of job that's in the summer that could help me make some money for the other.
If I had
Help,
if this yard, if the backyard had a goddamn RV gate, I'd back a trailer in there and let you can live in a RV trailer.
I would live just to
hell?
spite my landlord, and I would tell him I'm going to go live in a fucking trailer.
Wow. In case you were wondering, a 1-bedroom apartment in
Yes.
Santa Barbara is going for about $2,500 a month.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Well, there's some for
in the Jenny in the
2,000.
bushes.
Yeah.
Oh, outside the house.
Well, that's so. If in Santa Barbara, I can be in the bushes, and here I can be in Clayton's trailer.
There's one for $2,700.
Well, I gotta get a trailer first.
Well, okay.
That's insane.
It's just
Wow.
Oh, there's some studio apartments for $1,975.
That's like
Huh?
New York
Huh?
prices.
I know.
Right.
Sounds
Well, I
awful.
always it must be based
Crazy.
on somebody I follow or something I follow. Actually, I just realized what it is. It's the city of West Hollywood. Duh. On their Twitter feed, they're always anytime there's an apartment rental or whatever opens up, because out
Yeah.
there they are, and it's crazy how expensive they are, but they go instantly.
Seconds, yeah.
Because everybody wants to be an actor, everybody's out there, everybody's hustling and doing whatever. But it is crazy when somebody will put an ad up, refinished 1-bedroom apartment, or even if it's just a bedroom, like it's
Right.
literally room to rent,
Room to rent,
and it'll
yeah.
be $2,000, $2,500 right there in the middle of it. What do you?
Yeah.
What do
That's
you,
funny
what's
that
that look for? What are
So
you doing?
I was just there.
I just read the Marnie clock, and that's very funny
Oh,
to
I
me.
see. Oh, okay, got it. Marty's referencing a group message that we were all part
Right
of.
on time. Right on time.
I haven't even
From an
looked
hour
at.
and a
I
half
haven't
ago.
even looked at Facebook yet, so that's very funny.
We have a new phrase called Marnie o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, I
like it.
sort of stumbled over that because I was just in LA and I
funny.
was getting. I'd already gotten my hotel room, and then while some algorithm, while I was googling hotels, but I'd already reserved it, it popped up like, "Do you want Airbnb?" Like trying to suggest it, and I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot about that." And it's all the little flags came up. All through West Hollywood,
Sure.
and people are, because they're smart. They know if they're going to go somewhere for the weekend or do it. People are renting. They are Airbnb. West Hollywood, like
Yeah.
lit up like anything. And it was so expensive. Like everything was either comparable or more than
Yeah,
the,
it's
than the
just
hotel.
nuts.
So there was no way I could do better by Airbnb. I just went to the rip-off hotel, which was so expensive. By the way, it's just everything. And I haven't been to LA in 3 years, and the prices went like that while I was gone. So
It is
it was like
insane.
and you have to pay for every single place that you park.
Yeah.
Almost aside
Sure.
from the grocery store.
Sure.
And then the valet, and it's so frustrating. You're like, I'll just valet because it is so it's $20 to park in a paid parking lot, so the valet is like 13, and you just everything is just a fortune in Southern
Well,
California.
even the I think the Ramada Inn there in West
yeah,
Hollywood.
that's where I stayed.
I think the parking is like $30 or $40
Yeah,
a night.
it was.
Yeah.
That was an expensive trip for 3 days.
Yeah.
In LA between the rental car, the Ramada, and the airfare was a lot of money. And I felt
It's
like it
almost
wasn't
not
really
even,
worth it.
It's almost not even worth it to travel anymore.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like it's hardly even worth it to start your own business because of all the hoops you have to jump through to start a
Right.
business, the expense. I mean, you just want to make widgets for people
Right.
or whatever, but oh my god. Well,
Or T-shirt.
T-shirts,
T-shirts
perhaps?
could be another right, because I don't know what hoops. You're simply wanting to move your stuff out of your garage into another garage in essence.
For the most part.
But I would imagine that there's probably all kinds of hoops and shit you got to jump through.
I mean, you have to pay them.
No, I understand that, but I mean, like, there's licensing, and then there's all this insurance.
a
shit.
lot.
It depends on your
Then there's
business.
all this, right? True, but like, criminy. There's a
know.
lot of shit you have to.
As long as I don't have to talk to the health department, I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
For some
That's
reason,
right.
I don't get along
Yeah.
with those people at all.
Sure.
I'm not allowed to talk to them.
Really?
Oh yeah. I get written up for something every fucking time I talk to those people. I'm not allowed.
And the cash was always spotlessly clean.
Isn't that funny? Yeah,
But you and I would
just me.
right? But I would think that you would have gotten along with them wonderfully based on the
No,
appearance of that
They
bar.
don't like me at all.
Huh? Well,
It's terrible.
Wow.
I know.
I know who not.
Luckily,
to
I don't work
bring
the day
up
shift
at the
Yes,
meeting.
we will. Yeah, don't bring that
No.
up.
If I ever have an encounter with the health department inspector, you know Ken Carlson? Check mark.
You'll be screwed.
So, Clayton, how are you doing?
Well, still well. Everything's good.
Yes.
I think there's something ultra exciting, but there's really not.
Sometimes that's good.
We were talking before the show about it, and this could potentially be in the entertainment section, but last week they had the live version of All in the Family and the
Oh,
Jeffersons
we should talk about that in
on
entertainment, yeah.
ABC. I watched that. I enjoyed the snot out of that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no, it's just been lovely to have the windows open and the breeze and everything
So
go on
great.
as normal, typically. I already talked about the trivia. That went well. RuPaul's finale is tomorrow night. I'm
Nice.
glad that's going to be over.
It's on
'cause
Thursday, actually.
I'm sorry, Thursday. I keep thinking. I thought all day
I wouldn't
today
show
was
up
Wednesday.
tomorrow.
No, I'll go. No, I'll start
Unless you take
promoting.
Ernie with you.
Right. Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
maybe.
She can drive.
There you go. Sure.
Yeah, I'm just glad that that's actually ending because I've not been real happy with this season. So,
Yeah. So
I'll
it
be
sounds
glad-
like a lot of people haven't been.
Yeah, I'll be glad when that's over. And then we'll figure out what else we're going to do on Thursday nights. But no, other than that, I got rid of a lawnmower out of my shop.
Wow.
That's some floor space. I'm happy to give
That's
that.
big news.
Yeah, it is.
How was that not the headline?
Right.
I didn't lead with that. I'm
my
so
goodness.
terribly sorry.
How did that happen?
Well, when I was putting my package together, that was just it fell to the wayside.
Insider lingo.
Good work. I forgot where my belt was. Well done. Well done.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
No, it's Anthony Hugger. I gave it to him. It's another one that, again, somebody, I think two guys that go to the bar all the time, their mother had, or one of their moms had passed away several years ago, and this lawnmower was like in a shed forever and ever and ever. And they're like, well, we don't want it. We're just going to eat. They're like, we heard that you would take it. And I make sure. So they literally just dropped it off here. And I did a couple bits of tinkering with it, fired up. It runs great.
Nice.
I don't need it, but the one that I had given Anthony, again, it's another one that I got free. I'd given him like a year and a half, 2 years ago. He loaned it to somebody. They broke it, wouldn't fix it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, just fuck that. I'll just give you another mower. So that's how I keep getting rid of these. And then today, Stacy comes to me and he goes, hey, I've got an old mower in the shed. Do you want it? So I'm going to wind up with another one.
It's like the vacuums all over again.
Right. Oh, and you sent me a picture of a vacuum.
I almost got out of the car and took it, but there were two people sitting outside drinking coffee outside, and I was like, they're going to think I'm a lunatic. So
What the hell do you care?
I just kind of do.
Here's what I would do. I
was
get out of the car and be like, are you all using this? I'm fucking taking it.
Is this free?
I
Is this free? Anybody? Anybody want this vacuum?
Yeah, so I did take a picture of the vacuum next
Yeah, he
to
sent
the
me a
garbage
picture.
can.
You know what? Pictures don't get
God,
you?
that's
A
so funny.
vacuum.
Right. Yeah. Get out of the car, ask them if they're using it, be polite. You might even make a friend. They're getting rid of
I
it.
should have just done
They
it.
might have offered you
I
some
was
coffee.
too
You could have
embarrassed.
gotten
Oh.
a vacuum and a
And
cup
some
of
coffee.
That is true. A buzz.
Yeah.
And
True.
a shitty, dirty vacuum
And
you were
then
going to
a
bring
dirty
to me.
Hoover.
Didn't you date her?
Yeah.
That was Marcy.
Wasn't that
Well,
know
I'll
where
tell
you're
you.
going with
I'll,
that.
such a great reaction?
I'll tell you this,
That was
ladies.
such a great
Nobody wanted
reaction.
that dirty Hoover anymore.
Oh!
Yeah, there you have it. Be afraid. It's fantastic.
Oh, that is.
Sorry.
Hard as I try to forget.
I couldn't resist. I just couldn't.
There's so much inside, as Al would say, inside baseball stuff going on here in the studio.
There always has been. That's why I used,
Yeah, that's
why I
valid
used
point.
to listen. Was for
Oh,
the
and I had a,
neighborhood gossip.
All right.
I had a lunch date actually on was it Sunday?
It was.
It was Sunday with Buddy Early.
Oh, with Buddy.
Right,
Yeah.
that's great.
Correct, huh?
Well, because of the
And you
long
went to
weekend,
short leash.
Went to short leash,
Which I love.
Being the old guys in the balcony at the Muppets.
which was
Right.
very cute. That was very cute. So
Funny.
because there is an upcoming, and it sounds odd that I say this, but it's a non Clayton sanctioned Winx reunion party or show going
Yeah,
on.
so weird.
Because there's so many things going against it. It was planned for a Sunday, which is fine, but it was planned for a Sunday at 7 p.m. on Father's Day.
Oh.
All of the people who would have had any remembrance of Winx basically are people my age and older that they're going to come out like at a 1 or 2 p.m. on a Sunday. They want to be
Right.
home by 5:30.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
You gotta hold
when-
that shit at old man
When,
o'clock.
Right, when Jeff,
But it's so true. 7 o'clock.
which is
you're gonna be
very
like, no.
different than Marnie O'Clock.
Different than Marty o'clock.
Very different. Marnie O'Clock is later.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Just me.
just you.
There's drag time.
Drag time.
Exactly.
There's Marnie O'Clock.
Old man o'clock.
Old man
Man
o'clock.
Okay.
Wow, that's you're on
And in different
fuego.
times, I can fit all those in. Sure.
So I think the people who would show up to attend the show that would care and all that blah blah blah, I think it should be earlier. Like, so I even proposed. I said, well, it's a Sunday. Who cares? Let's do an earlier show. Same cast. Do the show at 1 or 2.
Sure.
Do that. Let the older people show up. Do the
Yeah.
thing. Let them get out. And then the next show doesn't start till 7. You could do the same goddamn show. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
We're all going to be
Yeah.
there. I mean, well, some of it will still be there, but anyway.
Right.
So
Larry has to go home and take his nap.
It's
but-
it's interesting, and let them do whatever they're going to do. It's fine, because usually when I would do the reunion shows, it was always to benefit the Aunt Rita's Foundation, because it was always a charity. Blah blah blah. So that's what Buddy Early and I were talking about, because he's doing a story in Echo about Winx, and we reminisced about stuff. He needed some dates and times and things that were regarding yesteryear. So but it's always interesting to sit with somebody who was there and to talk about, hey, do you remember when this happened or when that happened or whatnot? Because there were so many things that happened in
So
that little,
many.
in that little, well, we always called it the Taco Bell that could, but it was never actually a Taco Bell. It was a different
Kind of
Mexican
taco.
restaurant,
Taco time.
something. I don't know, Taco Bueno. I have no idea what the hell it was.
Right.
Taco Bueno actually is a chain in the Midwest that I used to eat. I used to love their stuff back in the day. Holy shit.
That's
Anyhow.
fantastic. Be afraid.
Be very Afraid.
I always
Boom.
am.
Are we all ready? Can we do this or not? Do you think we can make magic?
I don't know.
I think we can.
Can we ever?
Let's see if we can do a teaser for the end of the first hour, crossing over to our B break, which was hour 2, as we like to call it. And we also call it a little bit of headlines. A fugitive will surrender for enough likes.
Vegetarian elder abuse.
Sleepy, sleepy, sleep well.
Get your name right.
What's in a name?
What's in a raccoon dog?
Later, Pence.
Senator Elizabeth Warren has a plan for your love life.
I'd like to talk to my recruiter, please. Also,
I only have 2 stories.
keep your enemies closer, and Jesus, take the wheel. If we get to it, there's some shorter stories. Anywho, all right. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with all these headlines, so get yourself a beverage and hang on.
Oh my God, is this not your mother's recipe?
Yes, and now I'm passing it on to you. So try to keep up.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
Well, I played that backwards. Doesn't matter. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It is Q Talk America. It is a Tuesday night. You're in Studio C. This is the show. I'm Clayton McKee. Kat Carlson is here. Marnie Ryer. That's Doug Wilkie. Al Perkins has the night off because he's busy doing the Lord's work. I guess. I don't know what he's doing. No, he's working. He's very busy. Hi again to everybody in the chat room. I'm getting text messages. There's so many ways to communicate.
So much is happening right now.
Very
room,
busy.
In this room alone.
Very important.
Very important.
Oh, sure. They're very important
Yeah.
things. In our first hour, we talked a lot about the weather and what everybody was doing. So if you want to listen back to that, feel free to do so. Otherwise, what we're going to do is a little headlines, which is how we start out the second hour of the show. A little later, we're going to talk about some entertainment things and maybe the Wheel of Life. But for now, it's headlines. A fugitive has been... he's put a very modern price on his freedom. Joe Sims cut a deal with the Connecticut City of Torrington's police department to turn himself in if his wanted poster on the department's official Facebook page went viral and garnered 15,000 likes. Sims, who's 29, is wanted on 4 warrants for first-degree failure to appear in court and 3 warrants for second-degree failure to appear. Apparently, he just won't show up at all. Is he on Marnie time?
Yeah.
Maybe he's on Marnie time.
I think so.
Excuse me, sir. It's Marnie o'clock.
Marnie
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. You
yeah.
better trademark that. The underlying charges involve drugs, DUI, protective order violation, breach of the peace, and false reporting of cases. Sims initially contacted police over Facebook Messenger after the department began posting wanted posters for various fugitives on its page. He asked them when his image was going to appear, and he suggested that he get 20,000 likes in exchange for his voluntary surrender. But an officer on the other end of that Facebook Messenger negotiated him down from 20 to 15,000. A police spokesman said they had exhausted any other avenues for looking for him and believed he was in New York City. So when he reached out to them to post his wanted poster, we really had nothing to lose, he said. If he turns himself in, we accomplish our goal. If the post got 10,000 views and somebody provides us with information that leads to his arrest, we also accomplish our goal. The likes aspect was just a way to get it out there so more people would see it. We never thought it would become what it has. The post has passed the negotiated likes threshold as of last Wednesday morning, and by early Thursday, had secured
He
more
was
than
arrested.
by early Thursday had secured more than 19,000 likes. Sims, however, is MIA. He has yet to submit himself for the arrest that he initially had agreed to.
That's fantastic.
What a dick.
Right?
What a
Right?
dummy.
Man.
Do you feel lucky?
That's awesome.
Oh, yes.
Ah,
You know who wasn't lucky?
Who?
These people.
yes.
That was
A man in
second.
Pasco County, Florida, is behind bars after deputies say he hit his mother in the head with a corn cob.
Oh. What about a button nose?
You don't even need to read
2
anything
eyes
else.
made out of coal, right?
The incident reportedly happened at a home in Zephyrillis.
Sure.
Sure.
All right.
Around 2 a.m. on a Sunday.
Huh?
According to deputies, Cody Cummins,
Yeah. Okay.
27 years old, threw a corn cob at his mother, hitting her in the head.
Wow.
Can't say it enough times. It's still funny. Deputies say the victim was hurt,
She's
did
hurt.
but did not have any physical
put an eye
injuries,
out.
according to an arrest report.
You'll put an eye out with that. Calm down.
With that corn
throw
cob.
that-
Cummins
corn cob.
reportedly left the scene, was located and arrested. He's charged with domestic battery. No word on what led up to the attack.
Well, poorly made corn. I bet it was squishy.
A corn cob.
Good thing he doesn't
Oversoaked.
prefer cream corn. Those cans
I'm
can hurt.
saying. Maybe it was white corn, not yellow. You don't know. It might be.
Wow. Or one was one of those decorative
find
corn
that
things where
story
they dry
amazing.
it. They dry the corn on the cob. It's like a decorative thing they use, but
Yeah.
that's usually done in the fall.
Yeah. Well, you're right. Right. Harvest.
But yeah,
sort of
harvest
thing.
time, right?
Yeah.
So we
Alternate
were,
headlines: Barbecue gone bad.
Very nice. Right. Exactly. Exactly. You want some corn? Yeah.
Wow.
Not okay.
No, thank you. I'm good.
So we
just
yesterday,
fine.
Mom and I did like a little barbecue thing, and we were watching something that had been DVR'd. And at the end of it, it was a nighttime show. So at the end of it came the 10 o'clock news.
Okay.
And it showed this woman who was a little bit frightening. She was 49 years old, looked to be about 68. Just certainly, as Mom put it, a little rode hard, put away wet. Like she was really
Little
like
rough.
a little
Charming.
rough around the
Okay.
edges.
It's charming.
And so the headline, I can see the little tagline on the bottom, and it says something about daughter kills mother, blah, blah, or daughter
Oh.
admits to killing mother, blah, blah, blah. And I looked and I went, now quit your fucking bitching about having to move next door. And she burst out laughing because she had just been telling someone, everyone that can get her ear or that will give her an ear. She's like, well, and we lived together 25 years, but now then she kicked me out and makes me love her. Will you just shut the fuck up? People believe you. I mean, part of it's true.
Right.
But, you know.
You did live together 25 years. That part's true,
Well,
at least.
there might have been a swift kick here and there. But, you know, but it cracked me up.
But that's
when we saw that, it
that
was
local
all
story.
horrible.
Wasn't it over
Yeah.
out in Surprise or Sun City? It was here locally.
That may have been a different one. This one was in Scottsdale. This was
Oh,
68th Street in Osborne. Woman smothered her mother.
Yeah, smothered her mom.
I was like, so you just...
Listen, lady.
Yeah, listen here, woman. You're fine.
You keep your
That's what
corn
I said
cob.
to her.
You keep your
That's
corn
right.
cob.
Yeah. Yeah, you eat your goddamn corn.
That just sounds.
I wonder if they left the little handles on the end.
Yeah, right.
Oh!
That could be dangerous.
Well, that's where your eye gets poked out.
I'm saying.
my
Yeah, I
gosh.
tell you what. Terrifying.
I tell you what.
I tell you what.
What?
What?
That's just like when the
That's
kids go,
it?
bull.
Duh.
Uh-uh.
Nuh-uh. I tell you what.
I tell you what. I wish the hell you would, because I ain't got no idea what you're talking
It'll
about.
be later. Not now. It'll be on morning o'clock. I'll tell you on morning o'clock. Shit.
Our post-show segment.
That's the 4th hour of the
Yeah,
show.
right?
Yeah.
It's just Marnie wandering around the
Well,
studio.
she's finally on time. Yeah.
Right. She gets her own hour.
Coming up on Marnie
She
o'clock.
gets here. She gets here late and then just
stays
never
late.
leaves.
Yeah, no, she stays late. She has to make up her time.
That's right, exactly.
It's part of the
I've
union.
done it
for
for
her
work.
paycheck.
I've done it for work forever. So
You were
why
going to
not?
renegotiate your salary.
She's working on
too.
flex time.
Again, I have done that forever.
She's a flex timer.
Yeah, she is.
Does that mean do you
Always
work from
have been.
home sometimes too? Is
Totally.
that
That's exactly right. That's what you do.
do the show from
Work,
home?
work.
That's how you fucking rock and roll. I've tried that. I've said that forever. Can I just call in?
I'm actually working on
I can
that.
call from anywhere.
Just
you
Skype
know?
in.
I'm working on it,
No,
so
we'll
it's
get a
also
cutout.
video.
We've talked about that
No, I
before.
don't want to cut out.
I'm just saying.
No.
Just saying.
Live via satellite.
Live
Right.
via satellite, sure.
Clayton McKee.
So I sent you a couple of pictures.
Oh my
I don't
God,
know
you
if were
did?
able
Well,
to,
hang on.
you know,
I've been
my
so busy
bad.
doing other things.
Yeah.
Ignoring your
Important
Just
things.
saying.
Apparently ignoring your picture sending.
Well, it's important to the story.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
So let me
Let's-
just tell you about an unlucky or lucky gentleman, actually.
Ooh, is this an audience decides?
Dude, no, I think that we're all going to kind
You
of
be the
agree.
judge.
You be the judge
be
of
the
this.
judge.
Wait, how many?
I sent you so the first.
I got
it's
one.
You should have had one. There should be two, maybe, but
I have one or two people on a bed, or no, there's
yeah,
a third person.
Yeah,
I have one.
That's the one that I need.
Okay,
For right now.
That's the one that I need. That is the one I need.
Da,
The one I need.
Sure.
da, 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 da.
God damn.
That was the best dance I've ever done.
Do you need the whole? Do you need the whole tweet? The whole thing? Or just the
yeah,
picture?
the whole thing if possible.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Good. This is the production part that's supposed to
My
take.
God.
Yeah, well, we just, I prefer it this way. So there's that.
Wow, I prefer.
Wow.
We do all of our production on air.
Is that part of the package?
Apparently it is. That is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we call this building the package.
You're
That's right.
building your package.
Just saying.
That
I
is
feel more
fucking
comfortable with it this
Oh,
way.
I got something else from you just now.
Yep, that's the second
Okay, tell
story.
me when to go to
Second
this
story.
picture.
That's the second story.
Okay, tell me when to go to this picture.
So, you know, we've all been out before and maybe had a few too many canoops.
Ooh.
Not me.
Nobody I know.
I've never met you. So, hungover man
Hungover.
found
man.
a selfie in his phone,
Uh-oh.
and he had been tucked into bed.
Who had his phone?
Who can resist a quick selfie with a wasted person?
Brad selfie followed that.
Not the cops, apparently.
Oh.
Not the cops.
Oh.
So he was tucked into bed by the police.
Oh.
Right. And these two look adorable.
Oh
and
my
they're
God!
kind
I
of-
just realized now
Yeah.
that you say it, I can see it.
In the U.S., allegations of police brutality seem to be a pertinent fixture in the news. And the discussion about the role of self-surveillance cameras and monitoring an endemic social problem is ongoing. In Tasmania, however, things seem to be a little bit different. There, a pair of police officers engaged in what you might call self-surveillance with a twist. Two constables recently took a smiling selfie after safely tucking an inebriated man into bed. And they used the wasted dude's own phone, presumably so he would know exactly what went down after he woke up with what was likely the mother of all hangovers. And it says, after a blackout night, my mate woke up to a ripper selfie on his phone. And it says, so I was just looking through my phone, and turns out these good cunts, by the way,
Oh. Wow.
Oh.
took some banger selfies after they took my drunk ass home. Bloody legends.
Yeah. So here's the.
I was very intrigued by that.
There's the tweet he sent out. There's the picture, but there's the selfie with them. And what's funny is
I appreciate
No.
that the police are good cunts.
here's that's an endearing. So
I know.
if you zoom in on
Took
that,
my drunk ass home.
that's the two cops taking a picture, and he's.
How cute are those cops?
But he was conscious when he got in bed.
Well,
he just
but
doesn't
yeah,
Kinda.
kind
just
of.
doesn't remember.
In a blackout.
It all started when Reese Park went out for a night of revelry in this one place in Tasmania. and things got a little out of control. Park managed to get him into a taxi, but the taxi driver found it necessary to call for police assistance. Constables Nancy Siggins and Jeremy Blythe showed up at the scene. As Senior Sergeant Craig Fox explained in a Facebook post, it is not standard practice in Tasmania for police to actually escort drunks into their bedroom and make sure that they're tucked in safe and sound. But in this case, that is exactly what happened. Fox stated, on this occasion, police were contacted by a taxi company for assistance in getting the man home. When the police arrived, they found out his address, took the man home, and waited for a friend to arrive to look after him. They also tucked him cozily into his bed, so why not memorialize the good deed with a selfie? Park discovered the photo on his phone when he awoke, and promptly posted it on Facebook with this snarky comment. And that's where it's funny, in the article, they have good cunts, but they have cunts with the asterisks.
Sure.
Right? So that they don't have, but it's right here.
So funny.
Anyway, how funny is that? Good on them.
I like that they have a
Good
sense
on
of
them.
humor,
I know it.
too.
The Tasmanian police evidently appreciated the shout out and also shared the photo on Facebook, using it as a lesson to all. As Fox put it, police are always looking for a place of safety for anyone who is affected by alcohol. And there's no place like one's own comfy bed. Just be sure to say cheese and good night to the nice officers. Or bloody good cunts, as it were, you know. Anyway, but how great is that?
That's cute.
Yeah, they're
Very
like,
good.
cheese. So I thought that
Very
was a
good.
cute story. Thank you, police officers, for getting him home safely.
You're welcome.
It's a good cunts everywhere.
That wasn't to you.
Oh, my God.
I was just channeling the police
Were
officers.
you? All right.
I was. Did you know I had no idea because I've never seen this musical? Listen to this. Wait for it. We're gonna critique this because this is relevant to the story.
Huh?
I just.
Jerry likes the way I do my chores.
Yeah.
It's called Jerry Likes My Corn from Grey Gardens.
From
the
Grey
musical.
Gardens,
I
yes.
had not
Okay,
ever
by the
seen
way,
the
did
musical.
you see what Jenny had up
That
there?
was
That's
for
why I
Jenny.
Googled it.
Oh, got it. I'm like, what?
That's why that
How
happened.
did you? I was like, wait a minute.
That's how that happened.
That was too
yeah.
much for me.
Jerry likes
Jenny
my
said, "I love
corn.
that
Jerry
song."
likes my corn.
God damn. That documentary is so fucked up, and then the
Oh,
movie
it
too.
is.
Jerry likes
Drew
my
Barrymore
corn.
playing.
Both the
And
documentary
Jessica
and
Lange?
the
Yeah.
production are both fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Too
Well,
much.
because
just
the
watched-
documentary portions of the Drew Barrymore Jessica Lange movie are
Yeah.
like imitated.
They're
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
so
mean? And spot on.
perfectly done.
They're
She
not,
does her
they're
flag
not-
dance in the
I fucking love
atrium.
that. Oh my God, 4th of July show tunes are coming up. I flag dance.
Of course you
every
gotta-
year.
God.
Of course
Every
you're
year.
gonna have
Love
that.
it.
Hokey smokes,
All right.
Bullwinkle.
I'm topical. I love a theme.
So this is a short one. What's in a name tag? Well, for one Nebraska man, it means criminal charges.
Oh.
Lincoln police arrested 26-year-old Markle Towner on Tuesday for allegedly resisting arrest and providing a false name to the officers. This is kind of a police theme evolving tonight, Marnie.
I do appreciate it.
Police responding to a report of domestic assault around 10:30 p.m. found the suspect Towner sitting in a parked vehicle outside the home. They noted that Towner also had 2 warrants for his arrest. When they questioned Towner, he allegedly gave his name as D'Angelo Towns. However, the officers say they noticed a lanyard around Towner's neck that read Markle Towner.
Funny.
When Towner was told he was under arrest, police said he tensed up, resisted arrest, and yelled that he didn't do anything wrong. Towner was taken into custody after a struggle that lasted several minutes. The department statement also alleged that Towner's friends and family members surrounded the officers and tried to prevent the arrest.
That's always successful.
As you do, yeah.
Yeah.
That always works out
That
real well.
always works
They
out.
don't care about that at all. Towner was taken into custody after a struggle that lasted several minutes. And, I'm sorry, I said that. Sorry. Towner is charged with resisting arrest, obstructing a government operation, false reporting, child neglect, and third-degree domestic assault. And his name tag busted him.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
You
It's
gotta
the
pay
little
attention
things.
to the details.
Yeah.
Like the lanyard with your fucking name on it.
Kind of is a giveaway.
When you're giving your false name.
Well, it's,
Dead fucking.
and then
and your family is attacked.
I mean, eventually they would have got him with an ID or something
Right.
and proven it. So again, just don't
Sure,
lie. It's
sure.
easier. It's just easier.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm loving that Jenny saw the musical dressed like Little Edie.
Oh my gosh.
Come on,
Fantastic.
that's
We love
brilliant.
that.
The hellhead
Brilliant.
I
scar.
felt like this was the best outfit for the day. Take this off and use it as a skirt. What? I love Grey Gardens.
Oh my
I
God,
just watched the
don't know.
documentary again like 2 months ago. It was so because it was on HBO, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm
just
watching it again.
crazy.
You
So
do this, you're like,
fantastic.
I'll just watch
It
5
really
minutes.
is crazy.
Right.
And then like 2 hours later, watch the whole thing.
Right.
And then what you do after you watch it is you spend time Googling
Everything
before
about
and,
it.
before
Yeah.
and after pictures of the house,
All
and you
the
see
time.
how wonderful
Oh
the
my
house looks
God.
now.
Yeah.
That they had to go in and gut it and redo
know.
everything. But yeah, crazy shit.
Unreal.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous
Ah.
house.
Well, speaking of crazy shit, Jennifer Hernandez, who's 58 years old,
She sounds nice.
if nothing,
So far.
if she's nothing else, she's persistent. On April
good
22,
quality.
she walked through the
girl.
vehicle gate at the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, where she was stopped by a police officer. Again, going with our law enforcement theme here. She explained that she had an interview in the complex, but the officer discovered she had no official business and was told she needed to leave. Well, on May 1st, she comes back. Military Times reported that Hernandez returned, this time in a Lyft vehicle, asking to see her recruiter. She was issued a written warning and directed to leave again. Well, on May
Bitch, you don't
2nd,
work here. Get out.
on May 2nd, notably a day after, she was back, this time in an Uber vehicle,
Oh.
telling officers that she'd returned because her recruiter's phone seemed to be
Distraction.
off.
Yeah.
Well, on that day, the officers, when again, they told her to leave. They inadvertently kept her ID card. So the following day, this would be May 3rd, she comes back again to pick it up and also asked if she could speak to Agent Penis.
Oh, come on.
Oh no.
She was again told to leave the premises. She's then refused, yelling at officers, "Do you really think I'm going to leave?" Well, finally, they just had enough of her shit. She was arrested and charged with trespassing.
Had enough of her shit.
Just have enough of your shit, woman.
That's it. We're
The
done.
fuck are you coming back in next time?
I like that she used Lyft and Uber though.
Yeah,
Well,
she
it's
was.
a good disguise.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the surge
Covert,
pricing.
as it were.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure it was surge pricing related.
That's right.
If Lyft
Yes.
is too expensive,
I thought
open
it was
Uber,
right.
see what they're up to.
I thought it was a covert operation for her to be able to go see, Senor Pina.
Agent Penis.
Agent Penis.
Do not give away his name.
Well, they could have also
Is that
said
because her last name's Hernandez? It's racist.
it's Pina.
racist.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I didn't even fucking hear her last name.
Racist.
I'm not kidding. I channeled it.
Doing Pepe Le Pew over there for Jennifer Hernandez.
in the story, they have Agent Penis in quotes.
I didn't even hear it.
I could have also said the Little General.
Yeah, right. Stand at attention, Corporal.
Come on!
Oh my
Hey,
god.
I love it. It's good shit. It's good stuff.
Oh
I like
no.
Speaking of aggressive
I like it.
animals.
Ah.
Speaking of.
Wow.
Bum-bum-bum.
But,
Nice.
Residents of
Very
the
nice.
village of Clareborough
Ah,
say that they are living
Never
in
been.
fear after a particularly aggressive raccoon
Oh.
dog has been spotted on the loose. What's a raccoon dog, you may
Yeah,
ask?
Don't know.
I don't fucking know either.
No.
One resident, Betsy Greenala, posted a picture of the animal on social media in an effort to trace the exotic animal's owner.
Exotic. It's a
saying
raccoon.
it tried to attack her mother's goat.
Wait till you see the pictures of this
Go
thing.
ahead.
Trying to
See the
attack the
pictures.
mother's goat. Oh
She
my
told people,
God.
this is our raccoon dog. She
That-
says,
I
does
think
anybody
it's an overweight
is that?
chihuahua.
does anybody know what this is? It attacked my mother-in-law's goat at 4:30 a.m. this morning.
Is it a
Redundant.
porcupine?
And was unable to be scared off by two men for an hour and a half.
So in this picture, it looks
Is that
more
a
like a
porcupine?
fat
That looks more
raccoon.
like a pig.
But
looks
the-
like a
pig body.
Oh, it does look like a raccoon face.
in there, but the other picture looks like a raccoon face, but the legs are too long.
Now, where was this at?
Outside.
Oh, it's outside, Marnie.
From flat to fat in 10 seconds.
It's in the village of Clareborough, which is in Lincolnshire.
Oh, good. Because I wasn't
Because
sure.
now you know.
Well,
where
the
it
reason
is.
that I
It's
asked.
across the pond. It's
Cleared
not
it right up.
American.
The
Not
reason,
American.
no.
Cleared that right.
Now I know exactly where it is. Thank you.
Still outside.
Oh, Lincolnshire. Sure.
Oh, in Lincolnshire.
They do have a big problem
It's
with
right
raccoon
next to
dogs
Worcestershire.
there.
Not
Sure.
Lancaster, but Lincolnshire.
Next to Worcestershire.
Lincolnshire.
My point,
Yes.
sir
Yes, Marnie.
or ma'am.
And there
however
is
you
one.
However you
self-identify.
Little
self
I
general.
have one. But
Right.
Nope. Zip
Ginny
that up.
may win. I think she might be right.
now,
Oh my God.
I was making sure that it wasn't somewhere in the Midwest because of our friend the raccoon who scaled the wall. That
Oh
one
my
clearly
God.
is not.
Right.
My
that
favorite
one
night
clearly
ever.
is not
Yeah.
My
scaling the
favorite
wall.
night of this show ever.
Wally. Wally the raccoon.
Maybe that wasn't the name.
The excitement of that evening.
that evening
Oh
was.
my God.
I mean,
That was the funniest. I
That
told
was
Kat last night. That is the funniest night I've
But look-
ever
but
been on the
really
show.
was.
Jenny,
So
I
fucking
get
funny.
what you're saying. Pregnant raccoon.
Yeah,
I get
could
that.
be.
But the length of those legs, I've never seen one
Mm-hmm.
it's like he's raised like a truck.
It's like the Tommy Tune of raccoons.
Right, like look at the
he's got a
comparison.
lifter. I see it.
Maybe it's just the camera angle.
Oh, I don't
No,
think
His
so.
legs look shorter
everybody
there.
looks taller and thinner from like an up angle.
Well,
Even
my
raccoon
God.
dogs.
Even raccoon dogs.
Oh,
Is
I
a
can see
raccoon
where
dog a
you're
thing, or
going.
did they just make that up?
They just made that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think they just used
Is that the
two-
chupacabra?
Oh, could be.
The British chupacabra.
Honestly,
Oh, go to
Yeah.
bed, little kids. The raccoon dog's going to
Oh.
attack your mother-in-law's ghost.
the Eurocobra is here.
no, I think it looks like
the Eurocobra.
what do you call that porcupine thing? Looks like a porcupine.
Porcupine thing.
Whatever. I couldn't
mean-
think of the name.
Sure. with
But
that.
who?
We're not on the
But who's
code.
the asshole leaving food out for this fat bastard?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Or did they do it just to
That's-
get the picture?
it is understood
God.
that the
Ah.
raccoon dog has escaped from its pen and its owners are actually out looking for it.
Oh.
How did they
That's
know
right.
it is a pen?
Raccoon dogs are known to feed on amphibians
Oh.
and ground nesting birds.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
They're being culled in some countries due to the risk they pose to native wildlife.
certainly.
Yeah.
Oh, so now you just brought it
This
home
is a
to
menacing pet.
Well, yeah, but now there's heartstrings
menacing-
involved.
Yeah, now it's not funny
Yeah,
anymore.
Right now it's not funny because that's a legitimate
Now
thing.
it's not a
It's a
fat
it's a
bastard.
real thing, and
I
they're
thought it
getting
was
rid
two
of them
kids
because
dressed
they're
up in a
vicious.
goddamn costume running around.
Would have got away with it too. If it wasn't
Yeah.
for those meddling
Meddling
kids.
You know, like all the Bigfoot sightings in the Midwest we
That's
had in
right.
the 70s.
That's right.
I didn't
Good
bother.
call.
I'm gonna Google
Who
raccoon dog and
was
see if
it?
this is a real thing.
Who was not able to corral the raccoon dog?
Can't
People-
just shoot
The
him with a
owners
dart.
of the
Oh,
raccoon
the
dog.
owners. Oh, okay.
Well, I'd be afraid of it too.
yeah, right.
Oh my god, they're a real thing. I totally thought this was a bullshit story.
No, they're not.
No, fuck yeah, they are. The raccoon dog,
That's why
also
I
known
asked.
as the mangut.
Mangut.
Do you have
Uh-huh.
Sounds
See?
Tanuki.
menacing.
Can you send me a better picture? Because those pictures are shit.
Yeah, sure.
I know a lot about
I
animals.
think that's.
You know a lot about what?
Animals, see, I said.
Oh,
Raccoon dog, it's real.
It's real. Who knew?
Mama Di
Honest to
saying
God,
the,
reading
the
it
The
Oh,
raccoon,
dog
oh my
is
god,
real.
Mama Di is
Oh my
verifying
God.
me.
She's on top of
well,
that.
she's
I
retired.
feel
She got lots of time
I
to
feel
watch
yeah,
the
so
Animal
valid.
Planet.
I had no idea. Just as soon
But
as
thank
just as soon
you
as the
for
Facebook
letting us
loads,
know,
we're gonna
'cause
send this to
that's-
Clayton. We've learned something here today. You know,
We
But
have,
was it
we have
valuable?
learned.
here
Is
at
it
Q Talk
valuable?
America,
Not sure. We have learned something.
We have our
We
finger on the
value-
pulse of
Yeah.
Whitney Houston
Yeah.
and the raccoon.
and the
Raccoon
raccoon
dogs.
dog.
Still dead.
We value education
dead.
even in real time. You just watched me.
We
Ladies and
saw
gentlemen,
Whitney last night.
You just watched me learn something
We all
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
right this
I
minute.
was
yeah.
this old right
Yeah.
now, and I learned
was
about
this old.
I
this-
was today years old when
Is
I learned that a
something
raccoon
cooking?
dog is a real thing.
Is something
It does
cooking?
smell like something's cooking.
Or burning.
Are you on fire?
Or
Something
gas,
burning?
Or the
I don't
gas
know.
stove.
The window's open. Maybe
The
the neighbors
roommates,
are on
well,
fire.
somebody outside again could be cooking, or
I just want to make sure we're not going to die.
I have a roommate who
raccoon
could be
dog.
cooking
I
something
ju-
in the kitchen.
Cat, I
It's
just
the
remembered
raccoon dog.
something from last night.
What happened last night?
Uh-oh.
Or
Are we allowed to tell the
can
people?
We, maybe
Oh,
can
no,
we?
see,
Is this a thing
We'll
that we
do,
should
we
talk
can do it
about
during.
offline?
We can do it in entertainment.
Now
can do it
these look
anytime you
much more docile. The one in the picture you sent
Yeah.
looks like
Looks
a rabid,
awful. I know, that
awful
poor
animal.
raccoon.
Well, maybe
dog.
someone threw
Very
a corn
menacing.
cob at it.
I can't deny that
That's
that's
right.
funny.
It could.
Two men couldn't
Well,
scare it
thank
away,
you.
but one fucking
One
corn
corn
cob
cob
did
did the
that
trick.
here.
That'll fucking get you.
Jerry likes my,
My
corn.
corn.
That should be the theme song of the show with Clayton
Oh, I
McKee.
like
Jerry
it.
likes my corn.
Jerry likes
Jerry
my
I
likes
think
my
that's
corn.
frightening. That's frightening.
Corn days, corn days.
Sounds right through my core.
Is that B. Arthur? Sounds like B. Arthur.
It is.
Still dead.
Jerry
No.
likes my corn.
Not the corn that I like.
It is likely to
no.
be
I don't know.
probably Mary Louise Wilson.
No, I don't know who that
Okay,
Because I
here-
don't think Christine Ebersol would have played Big Edie.
Okay, here's the pictures you sent. Well, I just snagged
She
two. So
could've played Big
there's
Edie.
one.
Oh,
See, that's
Christine
much
Ebersol.
better.
Cute.
That's much better. That doesn't look like a
that looks
rabbit.
sweet.
And then look
Soft.
at
Until he
Sure.
jumps and attacks
And
your
Yeah,
face
right?
from right
bite
there.
your face
Eat your
off.
face off.
and then look at this one.
menacing little fucker.
He just-
Ew,
He
it's
just
like a
ate
bear.
someone's face right now.
Yeah.
Your face
There's-
hashtag.
when you look at
Pieces
that-
of face on his tongue right
Your
now.
face has
It's actually-
Thanks, Obama.
It's
Thanks,
actually,
oh my
you know those, the memes you see where it shows before meth and after meth.
Oh.
So this is before meth, and then this is after.
It
No!
is. Oh my god.
Don't
Don't do
Don't do
drugs,
drugs.
kids.
Finger
is
on
your
the
brain.
pulse
Yeah.
of the opioid epidemic,
That's
ladies
right.
and gentlemen.
That
Before-
is the opioid
After.
epidemic.
After.
It
Math.
says so much. Sad songs
Say
actually
so-
say
say
Oh
so
my
much.
God.
Sea cells on the seesaw.
I
My God.
feel like we do good work here.
We
I
are
think-
doing
I think
God's
so.
work.
Honestly.
Yeah. Betty Buckley. Betty Buckley.
When are we going to start this good work
is
we're
the
doing?
answer?
Yeah, but that's not who's singing in this
Can you
particular
adopt?
recording.
We need to know more. Can I adopt a raccoon dog?
I don't know.
Are
Hang on.
they,
You
are
don't
they
want a raccoon
But
dog.
are they domesticated?
knows.
No, I think they're menacing. I think that was the word.
No, I don't know that you're
That
right.
was the word used in the article.
Maybe this one is.
Well,
Yeah.
that one
Dear
sure
Google,
fucking
can
looked
I
like
adopt
it.
a raccoon dog?
Fuck no.
This is what I've
It says-
typed in there.
Not
Like it says, are you
Arizona.
high?
Yeah.
Oh, I spelled, except for
Are
I
you
spelled
hot,
raccoon wrong.
Larry?
Do not misspell raccoon.
It is not legal to own one.
Oh.
wow.
And even if it were legal to own,
It'd be a
we
bad idea.
at animalwised.com
Mm-hmm.
would still never advise anyone to adopt
Yes.
a raccoon dog because
fucking
they're
scary.
menacing.
No.
Menacing.
Menacing.
Motherfucking
My
menacing.
gosh.
Bitch.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
What is wrong with the world when a
You
person
look like one of those like when you're like 13 or 14 and you are about to swear but you're not sure if you
Right.
should and you could get away and you say son of a
Gun.
bitch.
biscuit?
Well, when you think about it, regular trash bandits are pretty menacing and they get into everything, those little fuckers. But if you look at this
Right.
fat bastard,
Yeah.
what he's going to get, and he's going to dent something.
fucker.
Well, you know what?
If he falls,
They're a very old species, according to this website.
can
Until
see.
recently,
I'm gonna
there
guess
has been
slow.
no interest in taming and keeping them as a pet.
No.
In Eastern Europe, it's considered an invasive species.
Oh.
oddly,
Wow.
very similar to the Kardashians.
Yes, exactly. And they're
Nobody
That's
wants to
right.
own them.
no one no
And they're an
way.
invasive.
They are
species.
invasive as hell.
They are.
Yes, I agree.
Those are
For real.
trash bandits too, little
Raccoon
bastards.
dogs, my goodness.
They wear masks.
I think I finally found my
Oh,
spirit
yeah.
animal. Honest to God.
The trash bastard. No, the donkey.
The menacing
what is it?
raccoon
The
dog.
raccoon
menace-
dog.
That's
Yeah.
The donkey.
What animal best? What animal best exhibits your personal traits? I'm gonna say a raccoon dog, the menacing raccoon dog. From
all
now
right.
on.
All right.
Yeah.
Not to
wild,
be not
kinda
to be
mean.
confused if you not with a coon dog because those are the
Oh,
ones that
different.
you
They're-
hunt
yeah.
with.
Oh, where the red fur
Very,
grows,
very,
right?
very
Right.
big difference.
Anne and Dan. It's very sad. I'm still traumatized by that fucking book.
I still have never read it.
Oh,
I won't.
don't you won't?
No, and I won't see the movie.
Traumatized.
None of
No,
it.
the movie's even worse.
Old
oh
Yeller.
my god.
Never saw it.
See,
I've
I'm
never-
less affected by
Bambi?
that one.
No, I've actually never seen
I've never
Bambi.
seen
My-
Bambi or
See-
Dumbo.
Old Yeller
Dumbo was
died
my
real
favorite.
fast, and you didn't see him.
Okay.
Dan.
Still, I heard it was very.
Dan was eviscerated by a fucking raccoon. Like his guts were out. They were trying to push him back in. It's a whole
Oh,
thing.
Thanks for that.
You're
image.
welcome.
Well,
They describe it in the book in great
it
detail.
gets 5 stars on
Is-
Netflix.
Oh my god.
No.
Is eviscerated
Traumatized.
equated to
Traumatized.
menacing? And
It
in
is.
some way.
Right,
Oh.
a raccoon dog would eviscerate someone,
And that would be menacing.
As would I. I will
Well,
cut a bitch.
I'd say,
Oh.
wow. You know how I'm in a gang, right?
I was in a gang one time. I went to Christown Mall and I had to either join a gang or die, so I joined the gang.
I want to know more about this someday. Not right now.
Not now,
But
though.
I'm saying at
We
some
don't have
point.
time. We don't have time.
No, I feel
And I,
we
and I
don't,
signed a
but
non-disclosure agreement. No, it's a whole thing.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
That's how
The
you got
end-
jumped out.
The NDA doesn't expire for about 35 more years.
No, what the
There's so many questions I have that I'm not going to ask.
No, I went
Sometimes
to
I just lie.
Yeah.
too.
I
Do you think?
That's the other problem.
Yeah, I think so. But I like that.
my mom's like, it's not related to the raccoon.
But I like
Thank you.
that.
Thank
I
you.
like that it's in Metro Center that you were.
No, Chris.
No, Christown.
Christown. Oh my God. my bad.
Criptown Mall.
That's where
Well,
you join
not
all the
anymore.
gangs.
It's
Yeah.
now Spectrum.
Yeah,
that
right.
makes it better.
Whatever.
So much better.
So different.
Well, I went to that line
super
about, I'm in a
pretty.
gang because oddly, when I was at Mom's yesterday having lunch, their
You joined a gang.
logo was
Oh.
doing a no.
His mom did.
Yeah, Mom and I joined the gang.
That's super believable.
Oh my God.
No, the
She's
Willing.
like the head.
I
of the
would
gang.
totally be a gang
Yeah.
mom.
there was
Yeah.
a
Like tats all the way up her arm.
Yeah. That Clayton drew on.
Well, she was a crack whore.
She's,
so-
she's making fucking.
no,
cookies
you're the
and-
crack
Oh,
whore.
I'm the crack whore.
Yeah,
that's
not
right.
my mom. You
Oh,
were.
I got that wrong.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how
because
crack
you're
does
on
to you.
crack.
Doug
Look what-
Wilkie just ferociously apologizes. Like, my gosh.
No,
Sorry.
that's what we used to call Doug.
The crack whore.
When she's like, hey, crack whore. That's what she called him.
That's what
good.
she called me
Yeah.
at Winks.
Yeah.
Don't
you're-
send that back, though.
I know.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't a call and repeat. This
Right.
yeah, no.
Marco.
No, but when we were up, when,
is
there was a
terrifying.
marathon of Will and Grace on yesterday, and the episode happened to come on where Karen Walker runs in, says, "Will, take your homo hat off, put your lawyer hat on." You know how I'm in a gang, right? Well, I was flashing my
my
colors in the
God.
wrong hood, and I were about to take a cap to the head, and Rosario pulled up the limo and pulled me in, saved my life twice. Get me out of it! And she just runs out. Oh my God!
Oh my God.
But I forgot. You know how I'm in a gang,
That's
right?
funny.
Karen, come on.
That's fantastic.
That is
good.
That is.
I like
fun.
it.
I believe it's Marnie's story. Go,
Marnie,
Marnie.
you're up.
Well, it is, and it has to do with that motherfucker Mike Pence.
Oh.
Because we hate him. That's all I have
We
to say.
sure do.
That's the story. Now
Is
go
that the
ahead.
end?
No,
Doug?
The end.
yeah. He's
Nothing.
menacing.
Oh.
No, he's
Ugh.
not. No,
He's too
not.
milk
He's
toasty to
Yeah,
be
he was
menacing.
just going to use that
He's
same phrase.
just
Milk
shitty.
toast.
So anyway, but I do appreciate the folks at a small Christian liberal arts school, though,
Oh.
because he was asked to come and give the commencement speech.
Oh.
And you know what they did?
Did they turn around?
They got up and left,
They've done this to him before.
which I think is fucking brilliant.
They've fucking done this to him
So
before.
the best thing to do if Mike Pence shows up at your graduation, just get the hell out. And that's exactly what dozens of students and faculty, which just made it even better.
In solidarity.
At Taylor University did this past weekend, where Pence was giving the commencement speech for their graduating class. And now you guys have all heard how he's boo-hooing because everyone's being so discriminatory.
so mean to me.
Everyone's
You're
super
being mean to me.
discriminating
Right.
against him. God.
We know Christians are the most
But they
discriminated
are.
against
and
people.
white male
Yeah, oh, they're-
Christians.
White
horrible.
men are
Older
really
Yeah.
oppressed.
white male Christians.
Totally
Really?
oppressed.
Did you get it right, Doug?
Oh,
The
see,
be-
that's how oppressed they are. I don't even know how to say
You
it
don't
right.
even know. I mean, it just happened. I mean, there's the raccoon dog, and then there's Mike Pence.
I mean, which is worse?
Which is worse?
Mike Pence.
Which is more
Mike Pence.
menacing?
I'll take the dog.
I'll take the I'll take the fat
I'm
bastard
gonna take my fucking chances.
meth addicted dog.
I'm taking my fucking chances. That's right. So
Drug
that's
addiction's a problem.
well, yeah.
Epidemic in this
That's right. Taylor University is a small Christian liberal arts college in Pence's home state of Indiana.
Oh, wow.
There are around 2,000 enrolled students in total, with
You
a
got
graduating class
hometown.
of 494. The decision to include Pence in the ceremony had been heavily debated within the university.
Yeah.
Don't you think if something's that
Yeah.
heavily debated, maybe we should just
Get
not?
get someone else.
Right. I mean, please have Scott Walker come in and give it. I mean,
God.
come on. I mean, him
talk
compared
about
to Pence-
water.
Yeah, right.
How quality of water.
That's right. Anyway, so many throughout the student body and faculty didn't think it was appropriate for the school to invite a speaker who's so well known for his far right and anti-LGBTQ views. I think his presence makes it difficult for everyone at Taylor to feel welcome, said the graduating senior. Despite the school being religiously affiliated, some were quick to point out that Christianity and conservative views don't necessarily go hand in hand for everyone. For me personally, I think we should identify as Christians first before we have political ties. For his part, Pence used the platform he was given to influence and inspire young minds,
Oh, right.
to bemoan how difficult it is to be Christian in the modern world.
There it is.
Poor baby.
I know, Pumpkin.
Feel real bad for
Aw,
Pumpkin.
poor little thing. Poor little Pensy.
P.S. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. P.S. You're a douche.
Right.
So, lastly,
Fucking douche.
he complained that lately it's become acceptable, even fashionable, to malign traditional Christian beliefs.
Oh yeah.
So
How will
as
they
you-
survive?
How will they
Well,
survive?
first
How
they
will
were
they make
afraid.
it?
Well, they're gonna get. Then they were petrified.
Then they were petrified.
Yes.
Yeah, they wondered how. So he said, so as you prepare to leave this place and build your life on a Christ-centered, world-engaging foundation poured here at Taylor University, be prepared to stand up. Hopefully, most of that standing up will be in defense of people oppressed by the likes of Mike Pence.
Yeah.
Amen.
Wow. What a
I'll give
that's
you a fucking amen to that.
that's perfect.
Yeah, it is. And but they stood up. There were dozens of them that just
Was the
stood up.
pic- is the
Watch
pic-
out. The picture is somebody one
This.
of the caps that was
Yeah.
at.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was one of the caps of one
I
of the
like
students.
that.
And it just
Good
you
school
know,
with good students and good faculty.
absolutely. And you know, and the thing
Good
is that
Christians.
that just sucks is that, and I understand that there are different belief levels here, like none and then some, and
Mm-hmm.
so which is like I don't
Yeah.
have anything, I don't care, right? Neither should you care for what
Right.
I believe. It's the same kind of concept here. Like, why should that be pushed?
Yeah.
It does not need the likes of that shit does not need to be promoted
Yeah, it doesn't.
at all. And
Yep.
so you have someone like him come in, and unbelievable to me that he keeps being asked
I know.
to speak at any
I know.
of these commencements because he's
Yeah.
a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Well,
And he's a pouty little bastard.
Yeah.
the bigger thing to me is, aside from somebody had to ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And want him to be there.
Right. So who on that board of directors of that school? On this damn board of directors,
Don't
And I'll
fuck
replace you
with me,
all.
fella.
I built this company.
And
I
I'll
can take it
replace you all
down.
with a board.
I will
No,
come
she
out
said, I'm on the board
board
of directors of this
lousy
lousy company.
I milk
I
Pepsi
fought worse monsters than you in Hollywood.
I will come out publicly against your product.
It's a two-edged sword.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That was our Joan Crawford moment.
That was a good one. I like
I
I
that.
liked
feel
it.
better about it too. But
Yeah.
again, somebody decided that's who should speak there and arrange it and invited him and all that shit. How out of touch is that person with their
Yeah.
faculty and
And I wonder-
Want to
students?
bet it's an old white guy?
I wonder,
100%.
and I wonder why
Yeah,
the student
oh,
body didn't speak up sooner. Maybe they wanted to.
Oh,
just
maybe it
just
was
say,
a
But the
fucking
fact that it was
surprise.
Don't
no, it said it
bring
was
this person
heavily
here.
debated.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
if you have
Yeah.
something that heavily
Yeah,
debated,
just
like I
don't do
said,
it.
What,
Yeah.
if it's that going to cause that much of a, because you do have to make some fucking plans for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you
right.
have Secret Service and you
Yeah.
have all these
Oh,
things
yeah.
that have to be done.
Right.
So he's
They saved
known
my.
about
Oh
it.
my God! Thank you, and they saved my
Yeah.
first time at the rodeo.
I love it.
I will always beat you, Christina.
I can do the wire
Bigger?
hanger sing later
And I'm
for you.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
I need another glass
I
of
like
wine.
it.
No, I'll do
Yeah,
it before
no,
we leave
I love
tonight.
that. That's good.
To let the affiliates down the line now.
No, it's good. I have a good version.
Anyway, but love it. Do you have another one?
You have one, Doug? You want to
So
do it?
following the theme of politics, but this is
Yes.
much more lighthearted.
appreciate it. Like
You
it.
may have been following the Democratic side of the running for office.
The clown car.
The clown car, kind of. But,
I
but
mean-
like
23. I
them.
think we're at
like 'em.
23
I
Something
think
right
we're
like
now.
that.
23 and
Yeah.
yeah.
So Elizabeth Warren
Only
has
6
23
are
and me.
only 6 are women.
Oh,
Yep.
that's interesting.
6
I really
women.
did think it was more than
Nope.
that.
Only 6 women. Carry on.
Sorry, sir.
and one of them is Senator Elizabeth Warren, who
Yes.
has managed to sort of differentiate herself, and it's working. She's got a little uptick with having well thought out policy,
Yeah.
which is really interesting and good. And like, so she's been able to go to events, and when she was with the Black Caucus in I can't remember what state, and they kept saying, "Well, what about this?" And her answer every single time was, "Well, I have a plan for that." Which you know this, right? So it was
Sure.
great. Well, guess what else she has a plan?
Everything.
Well, so here it comes, one we didn't expect. From student loan debt to unaffordable housing to the opioid crisis, Democratic presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren has developed a reputation for having a policy plan for everything. That prompted comedian Ashley Nicole Black to wonder in a tweet on Saturday, "Do you think Elizabeth Warren has a plan to fix my love life?"
I bet she does.
Black
Cute,
did not
yes.
expect to receive a response, which came one day later.
Yeah.
DM me and let's figure this out, the
Yeah.
Massachusetts senator responded. Black responded on Twitter, "I am deceased." And the Twitterverse went crazy. "This is the most magical thing I've ever seen happen on this website or anywhere," wrote writer Katie McBride said. "It is the literal opposite of the presidential Twitter we've had for the past
That's
2.5 years. And I could not be any more here for it." The specifics of Warren's love plan have yet to be publicly announced. Jaded political observers might even surmise that there is no love plan and that Warren's tweet was merely a ploy for attention. Nonetheless, Warren admirers were swayed by her willingness to play along. Most days I'm fairly content to be a Canadian. But this morning I wish I could elect you, wrote actress Miranda Duffy. How effing awesome is this? Tweeted writer Annie Fox. A POTUS with a heart, a mind, a sense of humor, and 2 X chromosomes. Yes. We are so ready for this. And it wasn't just liberals who found Warren's tweet endearing. As a longtime vocal Republican in Hollywood, she is slowly winning me over, wrote Lana Walker, who works in media relations. According to a Fox News poll, Warren is currently one of the leading Democratic contenders, polling in third with 9% behind Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders at 17% and Vice President Joe Biden. It's different.
We don't even need to say. We don't even need to say his
We
name,
don't.
right?
If Warren's secret plan to find affection doesn't work out for Black, the comedian might try having a first date recorded by NPR. Those most always lead to marriage. I thought that was cute.
Hysterical. Yes, I love that.
One of the things that I'm finding,
good on her for
and I know Kat will have a comeback for this because I just know Kat.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
I watch. I mean, it's no secret. I watch Rachel. I watch all of them. I'm saturated with interviews from all of these people who are on all the time. And tonight, Kamala Harris was with Lawrence O'Donnell. At a town hall, which I'm curious to watch later. Because again, she's another one who's come up with plans. Who she's dropping them like just like Elizabeth is. But I think one of the things that it's like somebody who's longing to be in love, and anybody that gives them attention that is nice to them, or however you want to put it, you just fall in love with all of them. I think right now we have been so void of any sanity from anybody on the other side with any plans for anything for this past 24 months. That we've dealt with this bullshit. Well, longer if you go back to when his campaign started in 2015.
Well, he's a stable genius.
Of course, very stable. Modern major general, blah, blah, blah. But I think one of the, you just listen to people speak who are educated and understand, and there's science and articulate. Right, all of those things. And you're like, oh, I like them. Oh, I like them. Oh, I like them.
It's like,
and
your perspective is so skewed.
The winnowing of all of this will happen. But I hear wonderful things from all of them.
Right. They all have
Julian
something
Castro,
nice.
Beto.
Right. They all have something to contribute.
I cannot tell you how long it's been since I've heard somebody speak as eloquently as Mayor Pete.
Yeah.
I agree.
Amazing.
It's astounding. Oh, the takedown that he did of the whole thing about him, the avoidance of the draft.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He cut him at the knees.
Totally cut him.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that was something. But
on Veterans Day.
But I realize
Memorial Day.
I realize they're not all going to cross the line, and that's fine.
Right.
But I'm so happy to hear somebody speak, and it's, well, you're nice and you're smart, and I like you. Just for
and
that.
sane.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's nice.
I can buy into that. Yeah.
It's attractive.
Again,
there's
I'm
a
still
little bit of a
with
false
Gillibrand.
equivalency there, though. Like, there's a big difference between making a well put together and thought out speech and having an entire thought out legislative plan. You know what I mean? Like, there's a false equivalency by saying that Elizabeth Warren's a million plans are the same as Pete Buttigieg saying nice things on TV.
No, you're absolutely
what I
right.
mean?
But
Like,
just
Elizabeth
hearing
Warren,
people that can speak
and
and
it's all very nice.
articulate.
Yes, and it's all very nice. But
That's all.
Elizabeth Warren has done all of the work for
she
the
has.
semester
right.
already. It's the first day of class. This bitch has looked at the syllabus, has done everything on there.
Yeah.
She looked up 3 books that relate to the topic, and she also read those over the summer.
Sure.
Like, this bitch is fucking prepared.
I agree, and I have liked Warren for the long time. I dipped with my likability for her. For what was it with? There was something that happened, and I was like, ugh, I think we're afraid. Then I realized no, it was just a blip in the deal because her long term.
Even then, it's minor.
Her long term, like everything you look at, has been fantastic.
Sure.
All that she's done, how she hustled and worked.
I like that she does the whole anti-corporate, thing, and wealth inequality is a huge issue for her. All of those really important
And it
things.
always has been.
Yeah,
It's not a new thing, and that's what I think is fantastic. Yeah.
And again,
It's not like she's found things to jump on a bandwagon.
I may be completely an idiot with this, but I really want to see a woman run this ship.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
we would be in much more capable hands.
The beautiful irony of it would be, if I'm using that properly, would be for a woman to kick his ass out
wouldn't
of
that be great?
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And just, am I
Al's
using that?
Al's
I
not here
know,
to tell
he's
me
not
if it's
here
real
to-
irony.
it feels
Alanis
like it
Morissette
is.
has fucked
Yeah,
me for
I know,
life.
I'm with
She
you.
ruined
That's
it.
right.
I mean, it would be better if it was a black lesbian woman.
Yes.
Just because that
Yes.
would ring every bell.
Absolutely.
But
Kamala's close enough.
Right.
Yeah. Should be
Yeah.
coming out soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh no, she
But-
will.
No, she won't.
Wow.
But I mean, truly, just because I get what you're saying as far as the being prepared and whatnot, but
Yep.
because when you hear Pete, for instance, Mayor Pete, in anything, it's not as though he's stumbling for an answer
At all.
He's just somebody says something, and he's like, because he is prepared, I think, as well, differently.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Because
being
he's super
thrown,
smart.
because he's really fucking smart.
Right.
But not over the top to where he makes people, according to the interviews that I've seen, excuse me, and read, he's not demeaning about it.
No. And
He
it's
said-
really it's interesting because somebody who is in as oppressed as gays are, or as whatever, any group, and he's in there. He's got it. He's out. He's gay. He's a veteran. He's got all of these other things. But you're right. He never comes back at anybody. And again, that whole dissertation he did about
By design.
the avoidance of or the use of privilege and money to get your doctor to write you a note to get out of the war.
And then he said, and to fake an affliction.
Yeah.
It was like, he fucked him up.
Which is an affront to people who seriously have
he
afflictions.
said that.
Yeah, he
right.
did. Right.
Right.
Well,
But it was
and the
some
other
military members.
and the other thing that I enjoy with his speaking is that he's very humble.
Oh yeah.
So when it comes to him enlisting, it's not like, yep, and I did it because of this, and he, he was like,
You know what he said about it when they were even within the praising of him, when they were like, oh my God, in the army and all this, he did just what you wouldn't expect, the right thing. He goes, well, I didn't take out Obama, but it was kind of dangerous.
yeah,
Like even that, like don't.
Osama bin Laden,
bin
not
Osama.
Obama.
I'm
not-
sorry.
yeah.
That's what I meant.
right.
Different.
And
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that is so just astute,
Right,
And
right.
just so like right there. Like, don't get all
Like,
mad.
don't
Don't wave
blow
the
this out
flag,
of
and I'm the
proportion.
big.
I know I'm not going to get the season number right, but I liked it when he said, "Well, while I was on the ground in Iraq, Trump was doing season blah 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 of The Apprentice."
I know.
And I was like, "Oh,
I know, like Jugular.
well, you were doing some real shit." He was over here going, "You're fired."
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Only because it was scripted.
Well, and I love, even though it's something he's carrying through, like the little taglines that go through. I love when he said, I thought that there could be some other things that would be helpful with me being in the service, like learning Arabic, but little did I know that they wrote down that I know aerobics.
Yeah.
And all this, and it's cute.
Right, and he became
Yeah.
the fitness whatever
Right,
of the
right.
platoon, right?
Oh my God.
It was just very funny that's what they wrote down.
But what a
Now that he
fucking
knows
thing!
Arabic.
He could go to their country as a
know.
president. He could go there and speak their language.
Wow.
How fucking crazy
What a
is
head
that?
spinner would that be?
It is like
Whereas
7
Trump
or
can't
8.
go anywhere and even speak ours.
Well, right, he has trouble with English.
I mean, that guy.
He's like Scooby Doo.
Oh my God.
What is this?
Raggy.
Mayor Pete, what, 7, 8, 11
Yeah.
languages, whatever it is?
I think 8.
Something, yeah.
It's like 8.
And who knows? Within the last week, it
It's
could be
probably been
10.
another, depending on where he's
Yeah,
going.
or
next.
what book he wanted to read.
So, anyhow.
Anyway,
What a weird phenomenon.
That was my last one.
yeah.
Well, this one's a little political. It's
What?
close to home. I have 2 more stories.
Okay.
Before we kick over to the other segment. And this one, again, I titled this one, Keep Your Enemies Closer. A California lobbyist for Chevron Corp is urging retirees of the oil company that live in Arizona to oppose electric car policies, saying the vehicles are too expensive for most people and should not be promoted at all. A handful of people who either retired from Chevron or Unocal, which Chevron acquired back in 2005, have used a form letter that they were sent to urge Arizona corporation commissioners not to require electric companies here to build electric car charging stations. Form letters are commonly used by lobby commissioners, but the secretive nature of this campaign has drawn criticism, including from a retiree who alerted commissioners of the lobbyists' efforts. The letters discourage electric car infrastructure completely. Quote, let the electric vehicle industry finance the construction of the infrastructure from which it will benefit rather than burdening most Arizona ratepayers with the cost of supporting the electric vehicle market. Which is what?
Burden me.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So, and this, I've seen so much about this, and then the other stuff that's being more and more exposed about APS that is
So corrupt. That
so corrupt and
commission.
funding anti-solar while running commercials saying
Right.
we're solar.
Yeah.
Right.
You fucking liars.
Yeah, just gross.
It just drives me nuts.
Yep.
Awful.
So, anywho, just be aware that there are people out there all over the place that, oh, this is lovely. And then on
Talking
the
out of
other
both
hand,
sides
they're
of
like,
their mouth. Yeah.
it just it drives me nuts.
Terrible.
That's a very, very long story. You can look it up on ArizonaCentral.com, or I'm sure you could Google it from anywhere else. But our final story is about a gentleman named Leonard Olson, 70 years old.
Oh, Lenny.
He was arrested in Lakeland, Florida on May 10th for reckless driving
Lenny,
after
Lenny,
an
Lenny.
off-duty sheriff's deputy filmed him sitting on his sunroof while his Cadillac drove down the road
Oh,
at
no.
about 40 miles an hour. When Florida Highway
Okay, now I'm on board.
yes.
I'm on
When
Lenny's
cat's
team.
back in.
When Florida Highway Patrol troopers asked him about riding on his sunroof, Olson said, well, I don't know about that, but later admitted that the car was on cruise control. He says, quote, the car drives itself and has a gigantic computer in it. This according to WTSP affiliate. Says, quote, I thought it would be a nice way to praise God for a minute, and that's what I
Oh
did.
my God.
After his
Literally.
arrest, Olson told officers he would rather be taken to jail than back to his wife, who he says treats him like a servant.
I love Lenny so much.
Lenny's
Oh
our
my
new
God.
hero.
Is
Can you
there
imagine?
a legal defense fund for him?
I don't know how in the hell you go from you get the car to 40, you set
Yeah.
the cruise, and somehow you get your ass set up on the top
Sure.
and you're steering with your foot. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
I could do it.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Well, the car drives itself.
I feel good. Well, and it probably has like automatic sensors and automatic
Sure,
bump backs
sure.
for when you're too close to something.
Oh, did you
Like,
think about
somebody
new-
tells me
if it's a new car,
Something
That's
tells
right.
me
kind of
this
does
was not the
drive
first
itself.
time he did
Lane
it, Kat.
correction.
Right.
Sure.
he's tried this
He's
before.
done it before.
He tried it at 15
Yeah.
miles an hour.
Right.
He tried it. He tried it in his cul-de-sac at home, trying to get away from his
That's
wife.
how I would do it. I would
Yeah.
go to the mall first
Yeah,
and
but-
try it at about 10 miles an hour
Sure.
and be like, I'll
Empty
bet I could
parking
just
lot.
fucking ride up on the top and it would just. Yeah, that's
Wow.
something you do more than once.
Yeah. That's a fair point.
Also, I'm gonna go look for a new car.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
right?
Yes.
That's a fair point.
Well,
Just
you
to
don't have a sunroof
test
on your
the
van.
theory.
so
I know. I'm gonna have
you
to trade
get
in the
you-
van on a
get
newer
you
car
something
that
new
can drive
there.
itself.
Oh,
Wait a minute, I have all those things.
Oh
Shit,
well.
we could
Do you
test
have a
it out on
sunroof?
mine. Yeah.
Well, what are we
Yeah.
waiting for?
Let's go.
Show's over.
Show's over. Closing up.
We know what we're going to be doing in a little while.
Drugs will not be involved.
I better have another beer first. though.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Because I'm not going with.
Right. Oh, sure. Yeah. No, I wouldn't expect you to.
No.
Da-da-da-da-da.
no.
Where's my? I gotta get it all
Incidentally, we don't actually promote drinking and driving.
No,
We
not
won't
at
be
all.
doing
Oh,
any
no.
of that. For those of you
I
that are
gave that
listening,
up for Lent.
it was very funny. But
When the show
not-
first
we're not
started, we
actually
had a
gonna do that.
sponsor from a cab company
I know it.
that would drive us back and
Yeah.
forth.
was it Sunrise?
No, it was Rainbow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rainbow. Oh,
Sharon,
Yeah.
Sue.
Sue, yeah.
Yeah.
Sue
I-
Molinar.
So-
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, that
Lord
worked.
mercy.
And then
No.
then that all went to hell. Let's see, Doug, what are you gonna do with this? I don't know.
Well, I do have a story, one story that not everybody who's upset about the end of Game of Thrones are fans. So are some of the cast members. So I'll have a story about that.
Okay.
Oh, that's exciting.
I want to say my funny thing when we were watching one of the
you
musical
could say your
things
funny thing. That's a good place.
at the bar last night. And Clayton, you have
Opinions on a lot of things. We'll
No,
be
the
right
All in
back.
the
Live, all
Family
in the
Jeffersons
family and
live.
Jeffersons.
Talk about
Yep.
that too. Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, we'll be back with our third hour of love and tenderness right after this.
No wire hangers! What's wire hangers doing in this closet when I told you no wire hangers ever?
You're listening to Hugh Talk America. is the Hugh Talk America Radio Network.
Oh my gosh. So Doug and I basically reenacted
Yes.
most of the Mommy Dearest movie during the 2-minute break.
And sadly, Anant missed it.
Yeah. Anywho, welcome everybody. Again, this is hour 3. We've already done a couple hours before this, and you can
You're welcome.
You can imagine how exciting that was, just based on the intro to this hour.
Third hour subtitle. If you're still here, we're sorry.
I think that was funnier than anything we've done so far.
And if you're watching this on video, this actually is one of our topics. So
it's our new mascot.
Feel free to look up that
My
later.
spirit animals.
The mascot of
menacing
the show with
raccoon
Clayton
dog.
McKee.
Again, this is before crack, after crack.
Oh.
There you go.
The
Learn
tipped
it.
over garbage
This is
can
your
makes
brain.
everything in that
It
picture.
does. It's nice.
Yeah.
Where you eating? Trash can.
This
Trash
is
can.
your brain.
Well-
This is your brain on drugs.
Here's an attempt at entertainment with Doug Wilkie.
So I know how many of you are upset about the end of Game of Thrones, and we're not going to do any spoiler alerts. So,
Well, it ended.
but it,
That's
well, I
not a
know,
spoiler.
but you know, it's over. Spoiler.
If you didn't know,
Yeah.
For those of you tuning in last night, that was not a new episode.
Not coming back.
So you've heard about all these people that have needed therapy, and they have all these. Remember, I think it was you. Were we talking about this? Oh, Stephen Colbert was talking about the therapists are there to slap you in the face because you need to learn how to act like an adult. But this is a true story. It has been confirmed that Kit Harington, the star, has entered a therapy program to deal with some personal issues. EW has confirmed a New York Post report that the Game of Thrones star has entered a luxury rehab for stress and alcohol use.
Oh, so sad.
The actor.
My goodness, he did.
Was
What's-
he Jon-
He
was
did
he Jon
literally
Snow?
nothing useful
Right.
for 8 motherfucking
Right.
seasons.
That's probably why he
Jon
needs
Snow?
therapy.
He's sad. And he's sad.
What's sad is
Well,
when
the
I
gig's up.
I'm
Kat,
very upset about
Kat,
this.
brace,
now.
brace yourself when I tell you how much that place costs them.
I
Just
don't
a-
give a
just-
fuck.
The actor
Excuse me.
Ma'am,
has
Quick
been.
Ma'am,
Sir, ma'am.
Yes.
the lady in the stripes.
You have the floor.
Just was he Jon Snow?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
That's the only name that I recognize. He has a right to be in therapy.
He did nothing useful for 8
I'm just
fucking
like-
seasons except for look sad and say everything was hard.
Maybe
Fuck him.
maybe because it had to do with drugs and alcohol.
He could have saved the realm 7 times.
Wasn't written that way.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why he was so sad
Oh,
and
I
drunk
don't want
and
it.
drugged
I
out.
don't want it. You're the king, motherfucker. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Speculating.
Fuck you.
Just speculating.
I think we have to see if there's a bet at that place for
Yeah, I
Kat.
was gonna say she's gonna go. How much is it a month? She may have to go.
Did you see the
It's
inner coon
$120,000
dog
a
come
month.
out?
Yeah.
She's not going.
Raccoon dog. The
Raccoon dog. It is her spirit animal
It is.
after
Did
all.
you see that come out? Just
This is craft
There it
services. They're at craft services eating. Is that what he looks like?
Great.
Sounds-
Now you're calling me fat.
No,
better
no, the
than, better
guy.
than flat.
That's the stressed out
I mean,
guy.
if the shoe fits, whatever.
It's the
I'll
stressed
still
out
bite
guy.
your face off.
Yeah, apparently. Rabidly.
Menacingly.
Menacingly.
No.
Dennis
Wrong
the
word.
menacing.
I'm sorry,
Wrong
did I
word.
yell over your story?
It's quite all
Well,
right.
it's just like if
Sorry.
Al was here.
Yeah, sorry.
Do you want to hear more?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, bring it on.
We're already this deep into
He's
it.
been in the Connecticut Health Retreat for nearly a month.
Oh,
Kid has decided to utilize this break in his schedule. Kat, this is for Kat, as an opportunity to spend some time at a wellness retreat to work on some personal issues. Read a statement released by his
Like
representative.
how he was useless for 8 fucking
Yes,
years.
that they're working on that. Here it's coming up next. According to the Post, the British actor has been undergoing psychological coaching, practicing mindful meditation and cognitive behavioral therapy to combat stress and deal with negative emotions at the facility, which just cost over $120,000
So
a
wait,
month.
negative
Jesus
emotions
Christ.
at the facility. Well, get the fuck out of the facility.
No, he's
Right,
doing
leave
that.
your
at the
negative emotions
facility.
there.
Drop
if
them
the
off.
facility is giving
No.
you
wait a minute.
not it.
$120,000 a month.
A month.
Do you know how long he could live at Doug's house?
Exactly.
I was just gonna say, how much
Well,
rent is
they're-
that?
they're
I was
raising
told
the
there'd
rent,
be no
though.
math.
even with the rent increase,
He's
he
gonna
could
get.
live at
he-
Doug's house for
he
10
will get.
years. right?
He'll get evicted. No, because the landlord's
Get out.
bitch of a wife will raise the
Oh,
price.
fuck her.
Get off my lawn.
Take her to the red wedding. Fuck
A
her.
friend of the actor added that the end of the decade-long show really hit Kit hard, Kat.
God.
And his wife, fellow
Meanwhile, I was
GOT
unaffected.
actress Rose Leslie, is being extremely supportive of him.
Is she paying for it?
The Thrones documentary, The Last
Not
Watch,
that
was also
supportive.
released Sunday night, showed Harrington crying in dismay when he first learned, spoilers are coming up, that his character, Jon
Boo-hoo,
Snow,
I can't do anything.
would kill the show's female lead, Daenerys.
Only
He
fucking
started
useful
it. He
thing he ever
cried.
fucking
I
did.
like he cried, and these aren't even real people.
You don't
yeah,
know. They might be.
that
You
he
don't know.
broke down.
he's
listen,
on enough
you
drugs.
need to hear his
Oh, sorry.
plight here.
My bad. His
The
plight.
actor, very serious, Marnie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The actor,
Marnie,
this person is
serious
in
face.
Marnie. This person's in pain. He has
Emotional distress.
mental health issues.
Serious faces only.
Wait.
The actor.
I need to hear his plight.
Oh, here it is. He broke down after shooting his final scenes as the character. The final day of shooting, I felt fine. I felt fine. Then I went to do my
Can you
last
do that
shot.
like
you do that
Sally
one more time?
Field in Steel
Yes.
Magnolias?
Oh,
I'm
good
fine.
call.
I'm fine.
Oh,
I just want to hit something.
that's a great scene right
is.
there.
That
Then
was
I went to
good.
do my last shots and I started hyperventilating.
Now, shots of alcohol.
Then they called rap, and I just fucking broke down. It was just this onslaught of relief and grief about not being able to do this again. According to
I'm
Kat,
never-
do nothing.
I'm never
Nothing.
going to be able to do
Nothing
nothing
again. People are going to have such low
I know.
expectations of me.
So mercifully, that's the end of that. But
Sorry about all that. But I couldn't
But
help but
has
make
that
fun of
touched your
it.
heart?
My nipples.
Oh,
Mine are down here.
Mine are here. I still got a pretty good rack. So we're good. But
I had to talk.
I mean, how much
Joan
bullshit
Rivers.
do we have to listen to from Hollywood stars about their fucking difficult lives?
$120,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I did.
Because
I,
pretty boys just can't handle
He's
it.
not even that pretty.
Jon Snow.
Fuck him.
What happened to Jon Snow?
Is that Catherine Hepburn?
That I was gonna say. I wish I had my bicycle.
I feel like it's contouring.
It's a lovely
but I
day.
don't know.
Oh, sure.
I
Same
feel as
voice.
though I
Contouring.
was contouring.
Same voice, yeah.
Amina says we're all mean.
Hi, Amina.
Hi, Amina.
Fucking
How
nostrils.
are you? Yay.
We're all mean.
Amina,
Well,
couple of
Not-
things. Number one, actual, and not saying that
We're
Kit
raccoon
Harington
dogs.
doesn't have any kind of like mental illness or angst.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
a
I'm
sound
not,
effect.
I'm
Like
not
every-
actually
like every other
mocking
actor.
him.
Sure.
I'm not actually mocking Kit Harington.
That
I'm
it's-
actually really mad about Jon Snow, and I'm taking it
Yes.
out on this story with Kit
Totally.
Harington in a very raccoon dog kind of a way because I've just discovered
menacing.
my menacing spirit animal,
yes.
and it really fits. It's really,
I wonder if they hiss.
it's. Oh my god, I hope so.
I bet they do. We're gonna have to find out.
I'm pretty
I'll be
sure
back.
Joan
I want
Crawford
them to
didn't need to go
growl
to any
like
kind
a
of
really
rehab.
deep throaty,
Deep
like
guttural kind of.
Oh wait.
Oh, I like that. I like.
Oh,
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I think they should
yeah.
sound like.
And then spits.
But yeah, like I'm actually not mocking mental illness and people that
No,
go find
oh
their
God,
therapy
not
in
even
their
a little
house.
bit.
Like,
I
Yes,
was doing
that's
that,
not a thing.
Amina.
Yeah, that
No.
was Doug.
I was doing
Here's
that.
what, here's,
He's
what,
an
here's what
asshole.
I'm mocking. Here's what I'm mocking with
The
it.
Northern Hemisphere.
Wait.
In Europe, the raccoon dog frontier, human hunters pose a constant
My
threat.
God, there's
On the
videos.
other side of the world,
Oh my god.
the Japanese celebrate their unusual little dog.
Oh, they do. They put them in hats.
good
There's a
call.
lot of videos.
I didn't hear you for
Oh,
Or
my
animated
whole week
icon.
is going to be consumed with a raccoon dog.
Raccoon dog. It'll
We
become a
follow
verb.
Bambi
Are you raccoon
It just
dogging?
looks like a fat.
On the tradition,
No.
revealing how the raccoon dog
That
is
can't be a thing. It's too close
But
to.
you have
It's too
Marty
close.
o'clock?
Yeah, but it's too close to raw dogging, and I
Right.
really don't want to get associated there.
Right.
I really,
Wow.
I
What's
really don't
this?
want that attached.
Okay.
Right.
What?
No. So here's my thing. Ah!
Oh,
What?
Is that the sound that they make?
that's
Oh.
them.
No, not really.
It sounds kind
No,
of like a
Sounds like a
like
bird.
a chimpanzee.
It sounds
or
like a
something.
bunch. It sounds like a bad after party. Is what that sounds
I
like right there.
love it.
Maybe they'll tuck him into bed in Tasmania.
I love it.
I do too. So I'm with you as far as not mocking mental illness.
Right,
I
right, right.
am,
Yeah, we're not actually
however,
doing that.
going to mock the $120,000 fucking
Oh
dollars.
yeah, yeah.
That you go
I
into
know.
a
Right.
facility.
Boo-hoo, I have to spend more than everyone at this
Right.
table's like annual income
I'm
Right.
really
a month
sad.
because I'm
Right.
sad. Fuck you.
Because I'm so sad.
And I bet they give him all the protective.
I mean, he
like
thought
everything. No.
he thought he felt fine, but
I'm fine.
It's all he's known for 8
I can run
years.
to Texas and back.
Does
But I can't. But my daughter can. She never could.
there's typically a lovely thing called
It does look like a brown football helmet.
Like-
It's not
That is
fair.
right.
It's not fair.
Aside from them getting $1 million an episode, when
Right.
when friends
Right.
rap, there's a lovely thing called syndication that
Right.
they all get residuals forever.
Right.
Is there such a thing for Game of Thrones? Do these fuckers get money
You know,
forever?
I wonder with HBO, do you
I'm
get...
not sure what their contract is
That's
like.
a very interesting question.
but I'm
because-
like, yeah, rap, but honey, you're gonna
Because
get
network stuff and cable stuff will get.
At some
but
point, it's going to get sold to
Because
like
people
a Netflix
paid
or
for
whatever.
H-
Like at
people
some point,
pay
it's
for
going to show up
HBO.
somewhere else.
Or
So I
well,
don't think you
assume-
get syndicated.
Well, but I assume also at some point there's going to be an buy the entire
oh,
DVD
sure.
set of
I
all
don't,
this bullshit.
I don't think they see another.
I'm
dime
not
from
gonna
that.
do
with the paint by numbers for the final season for they just
also not going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this isn't necessarily. Maybe there are some mental health issues, but perhaps this is the spinoff.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Yep.
What, Jon
It
Snow
might
being
be.
sad in fucking Laguna?
No.
Fuck him.
It's, where was he at? Vermont,
Connecticut,
Connecticut, and Thrones.
as you do.
Connecticut and Thrones, as it
Whatever.
were.
I always
It
just
went from-
assume all
it went
rehabs
from-
are in Laguna Beach.
It
Yeah,
went from
like
got to
Malibu.
cot.
Yeah, yeah.
From got to cot.
Rehab of Thrones.
Would
like
you? Moving on to something lighter. Would you like to hear how dumb I was last night?
Yes.
Just last night?
fun.
It was so funny.
Just the one, dear?
So just the ones for last night. So we're watching all the musical numbers at the big gay sing along musical thing. Kat and I were on a date together. For those of you who are
It was a lovely
in
day.
late.
Yeah, I
feel
thought it was
better
very
about it.
nice.
And so the numbers are really good. Some are more obscure than others. So Kat helped me out, and so the one I guess
got stumped two
I don't know.
times.
Was it
Two
Dream? Was it
times.
Dream Girls? Was the thing?
Dream
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No,
so the
this is a
three of
funny
them.
story,
So I've got
actually.
Kat on my right side and Chris on my left side. So both know
Stuck
so
in the middle with
much
you,
about
right.
all about musicals. And I'm looking, and it's the Dream Girls. It's from the movie, right? I'm assuming from the movie. And they're singing, and it's all pretty. And I looked up, and I looked at Chris, and I go, "Gosh!" I go, "That one who is so in the middle is so pretty."
So wait, this is after I screamed at the television, "Fuck you people, where's Effie?"
right, right.
Because it's after,
Right.
right?
And I'm like, God, that one in the middle, like, she's so pretty. And Chris without me, he goes, "Doug, that's Beyonce."
That's from the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes. She
And then
is
I was like,
pretty.
oh,
Oh, there you go.
oh, it's Beyonce. I think I've heard of her.
Beyonce. Right.
But ask Dionne
Beyonce.
Warwick.
Yeah.
She's not an icon.
No. Oh.
Dionne Warwick came out in public and said, "Oh no, Beyonce is not an icon yet. She's not there yet."
Oh, good for Dion.
Got a girl.
Oh, I agree with her.
Proud of her.
Hey, Dion.
I'm not saying Beyonce's not crazy popular and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
a big celebrity.
No, I
but,
get it.
But Dion's like, she's not old enough to be an icon
No.
yet. And I agree.
Amen.
So I like that. I
No.
didn't really know who she was. In a weird way, I kind of liked that.
You
that
know
was the
Beyonce?
case.
No.
Oh, she's really pretty. Who's that?
Put a ring on it.
Beyonce.
Beyonce. Very nice.
Yes.
I like it.
So Clayton,
Yeah.
how did you like All in the Family and the
Yeah.
Jeffersons being brought back to life?
I thought I was about ready to be being a gotcha
Beyonce.
question.
Oh, yeah.
Beyonce. It's a
Right.
verb.
It is. Ask the Beehive. It
That's
is.
Oh, right.
People are
I-
crazy.
Get you Beyonce.
I like anytime they bring back something or they remake it. I'm always curious to see how they do it. The sets were
Yeah, they were
immaculately
dead
done. It's
on.
astounding
The clothes,
how
too.
well they. I mean, it just looked like they pulled them out of storage. Like they've been in storage since 1970, whatever.
Yep.
So that was very interesting. The All in the Family version, Marissa Tomei as Edith Bunker was fantastic. Wanda Sykes as Louise Jefferson, very good. Jamie Foxx can do
Yeah.
anything
It was so funny.
It's so
he wants.
This is live. This
Anything,
is live.
yeah. But
When he
I felt
screwed up,
that
it was so
I
funny.
felt that the All in the Family was oddly paced. We were talking about that earlier before the show. It didn't. The pace was odd, and I
Yeah, it
felt
was.
like Woody Harrelson was trying. There was something about his portrayal of Archie Bunker that he just was not hitting right with me. I mean,
It was like a Saturday Night Live thing.
Yeah,
Instead
something.
Of, yeah.
Was he doing an imitation of Carol O'Connor?
Absolutely.
right, because it was
Absolutely.
That's what
it
you have to be careful
It
of.
was the jeez, you know, he was doing all
Yeah.
that, but he was doing some of, which I get the character, but there was something about the pacing of the All in the Family portion that I didn't care for as much. I still thought it was great to see it and terrifying at the same time to realize that scripts written 50 years ago are sadly just as poignant today,
Isn't that
and the
amazing?
issues are the
Yeah.
exact same. If you think
Yep.
we've advanced and we've gotten things are better,
Yeah.
Not really. Except somebody like Archie Bunker is now the president. That's
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But the Jeffersons portion of it,
Archie Bunker was way kinder than the president.
Yeah, you're right.
He had a heart.
Like,
No.
yeah.
Well,
deep down, he had
He
a
loved
heart.
his
He was,
wife and children.
right.
No.
and he
Or
was only
daughter.
married to the one.
Yeah.
And she apparently came from the city where he was, as opposed to shipping him in from other countries.
He had humanity.
Didn't have to buy
Yeah,
her.
right.
Didn't have to buy her, right? But the Jeffersons portion of it, again, starting with Jennifer Hudson singing the theme, which was fantastic. And if you haven't found it online, because Sean Hayes played a character in the All in the
Yeah,
Family,
so funny.
he was sitting in the audience when they started the live thing. So he, on his phone, is sitting just offside in the audience.
Okay.
And you can see the camera shooting Jennifer Hudson live for the TV. He actually he films her singing on his phone and then posted it, so you can see her walking
Oh, wow.
through the set,
I
which
love
was
it.
was cool. So
Yeah.
it
Nice.
started out with that, and you knew with her having the big afro wig on, the period clothes with the backup singer standing in the living room. It was just fantastic. So. Again, Wanda Sykes was fabulous. The Will Ferrell,
He
playing-
was the highlight.
oh my
Yeah.
God, playing and Kerry Washington,
Yeah, she
Yes.
was great.
playing the Willises from upstairs.
That was wonderful.
Really, really well done.
Yeah.
But the piece of resistance for the whole thing, because they had built the entire production of this was going to be, and I don't remember her name, the woman that was going to play Florence, an actress. I don't know who she was, and they had clearly they hid this secret so well,
Yeah.
so that when they get to that point in the scene where she opens the door, Marla Gibbs shows up, and the place went nuts.
It's just like 88 or
So-
86.
81, somewhere in
yeah.
there. Yeah, she's
How come
High
nobody
80s.
told me?
and yeah. If you live in this building and you live in this building,
And it was interesting in the.
or if we have a cake, why didn't anybody tell me? It was, but it was just so wonderful. And even the woman who stepped in and played Mother Jefferson,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
if you recall that character, she was very uppity and
Yeah.
she
She
didn't like
was.
Louise,
Yeah.
and all that. And that character, I had forgotten about. Oh, I see you already got a cook, and she
Yeah.
just
Sure.
moves.
Yeah.
And
was-
in the show, the interview show after, then they dissected it. They showed clips from
Right, the actual-
episode.
yeah.
So to see Marla Gibbs do it twice, it's
Right.
like, wow.
It was very, very cool, very well done.
Yeah. And Norman Lear's still alive.
Right, at 96 years old?
Yeah.
yeah, very just again so well written and so
Yeah.
well done.
I was really impressed.
Yeah.
And what we were also talking about a while ago is, they kept word for word the script.
Yeah.
And then, so back in the day, back in the 70s, there were things that you could say on TV that you can't
Right.
get away with anymore on TV today.
Right.
So, for example, in the original script, in the Jeffersons episode, George Jefferson says the N-word,
Right.
but they bleeped it. So to keep true to the script, they actually said it so that the script was complete, but they bleeped it per current
But they
broadcast
didn't bleep
standards.
It in the 70s.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But no, I
amazing.
just thought it was. I thought it was great. I thought it was well done. It was just very, very. I just thought it was cool. The flashback
too.
for people, and I don't know. I don't know what the younger kids do now. Like if a series, you couldn't broadcast a series like that today. I mean, that just would never work.
No.
Well,
From-
they said that show would not be on today.
Right,
There'd be
couldn't.
no way you'd get it on the air.
But I'm hoping that with the current, like Kerry Washington being in it and J Hud singing it and all the other actresses, I'm hoping that it brought some people to it who maybe have never watched the original.
Right.
And they
Jennifer
were like,
Hudson
and they're like,
and just
wait
all
a
of
minute, this was and then seek it out and understand
Yeah.
what all was going on, and then realize, oh, we haven't really progressed a lot.
And Amina's right, because, and so Jenny, with history repeating itself, and that people would elect an Archie Bunker
Yes.
today, right?
Sure,
With the way
sure.
things are, which I would prefer. Like you pointed out,
Yeah.
kind,
Yeah.
know, humanity, even though it doesn't come across that way,
Yeah.
because we now know worse, right? But
Yeah.
this is also something that would not have been even thought of to redo 2008, 2009,
Oh, right.
2010, right? No one would have said, like, let's see this because history is repeating itself.
And-
it would
Yeah,
have
it's an
been
interesting
for
point.
other reasons of, look at this, and now there's a black
And I
president.
think it's very cool. The person who spearheaded all of this is Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, and how amazing for him.
That's
the
just-
things that he's been able to do.
Yeah.
Just fun.
Yeah. I also thought it was interesting that he got 2 CBS shows on ABC.
Yeah.
I just thought there
I
was
didn't pay any
realized,
attention to
I
that.
realized Kimmel is an
Yeah.
ABC late
Yeah.
night guy, but those series
paid no
were
attention to
solely
that.
CBS
Yeah.
back in the day. And
Yeah.
I remember it was All in the Family. it was Jefferson's and it was 60 Minutes.
Yep.
Right.
And I
That's right.
watched it all the time.
Do you
Me
remember?
too.
Aaron had not seen that, but any of it.
Any of
Right.
what? Any of those series?
Any of them? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Which was startling.
Do you
in
have to
and of
explain to
itself.
her who Rick Springfield was?
I did.
Don't make fun of her. That wasn't part of my.
No,
like,
I know. I know, but I'm just saying it's not making fun of her. It's a matter like her parents were no, you're not watching Three's Company. They didn't even really want her to watch Friends.
Wow.
I mean, like, so that's why I'm saying, like, so there's no way that would have been a part of anything. So that's not mocking her on that. But we were talking about, remember after All in the Family was Archie Bunker's
Archie's Place.
Or Archie's Place?
Yeah. Where he bought the bar.
Yes.
And the little girl came in
Danielle,
after. Yeah, Danielle Brisbois.
Brisbois.
Oh my God,
right,
I remember
right,
that,
right,
yeah.
Yep. And I think she had been on
Beautiful little dark-haired girl.
Guillaume. Robert Guillaume.
Was she on Benson?
I think so.
No, that was Missy Gold. Missy Gold played the daughter on Benson, the governor's daughter.
No, you're right, but I thought she was also on that. Was she not?
Maybe so. I don't recall her being on that show.
Might be wrong.
But
Absolutely
Danielle
wrong, but yeah.
yeah.
Yep. But we were talking about sad endings to shows and things that made. When Edith died,
Oh, yeah.
oh my God. Like, I remember sobbing. Like, that was just the craziest thing. And that's one that I don't typically think of when we've talked even on the show when different questions have come up about shows and how they've ended and how we acted or reacted to things. We'll talk about MASH going off the air or, different things like that. But that was, and they never showed her.
No, she was.
They didn't show Gene Stapleton. It was a matter of
It was
Archie
all
just
Archie.
coming down the stairs. And, it was horrible. Oh, it was horrible, yeah.
But what a testament to Carol O'Connor's ability. Like, that was all him.
Yep, 100%. Oh, that was just something. But that brought back that memory of watching that one. Oh, it was terrible. Just terrible. But the show itself, I thought was great.
Very creative.
Great writing. It just really holds up well.
It
Yeah.
boy, is that the truth.
And I started watching, again, other documentaries I found. I don't think I mentioned. Did I mention last week about watching a documentary about, it's like a 5-part documentary done by the BBC about Auschwitz? I talked about that?
No.
Say that
Oh
again?
wow.
Yeah, it's a.
I was just reading this thread up here, and I was very I'm intrigued.
No, it's just it's just a documentary that I
Just
found
intrigued.
about.
Where did you see the documentary?
It's on Netflix. Well, I'm
Okay.
trying to read. Trying
I
to do
know.
multiple things
I
at the
know,
same time.
sorry.
It's on Netflix. It's something about Auschwitz. It's from the beginnings of when they built Auschwitz. When it wasn't. It was completely differently intended. It was basically supposed to be apartments and housing back when they started, and then the war and all this other shit came on and happened. Blah blah. It's like 5 hours. It's a 5-part. I've only made it through 1 hour so far.
Do you know what it's called?
Interesting.
I literally
Because I
think
want to
it's-
watch it because I'm.
If you go through the documentaries on just use their search feature and look for
All right.
Auschwitz.
Okay.
You'll find it's done by the BBC and it's like 5 or 6 parts.
All right. Yeah, I definitely want it
Very interesting.
for my class.
I mean,
in this
interesting.
fall.
And again, it's one of those things where, we have so much. There's so much documentation of shit like that happens. And then you people who deny that the Holocaust ever happened, and they're the flat earthers.
Yeah,
right. These brainstorms who are running around.
Right.
The non-vaccinating flat
Yes.
Earth.
The
Holocaust-
movie conspiracy people.
Bleach.
Oh yeah,
Bleach.
Those people
bleach
too.
drinking
Same
for
people.
Yeah,
giving
right,
children
right.
bleach
Sure,
to
sure.
cure autism. Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah.
that
Oh,
lovely
yeah.
story?
Shut up.
I got to
sounds
say this
awful.
one really fast, even though it's not
Go
part of
for it.
entertainment.
It
So there's
is
this
now.
woman out there. So evidently because
Is her name
Anti-vaxxer
Katie Blanchard?
isn't
'Cause
like
that story fucked me
the
up too.
lowest of the low, right? There's something worse now. So these same people in the
Put a pin in that.
anti-vax family are now because somebody put it on the internet to give your children, make them drink bleach. It cures autism.
Sure it does.
So
Didn't
now
you
all
know
these
that?
people with autistic kids are giving them bleach or prevents it. So this woman, I don't know, I forgot her name. She's been on Facebook finding them because they're posting about it.
Good.
So she
Call
screenshots
the
it and
police.
she does and she sends it to
Good.
DCS.
Thank
Good.
Oh,
goodness.
sure.
So,
Good.
and she calls and asks for a welfare check.
I love it.
And
I
yeah.
fucking love it.
Yeah. So I
Brilliant.
just wanted you to know that.
I
Wow.
fucking
Yeah,
love it.
it's horrible.
So I asked if it
Google
was Dee Dee Blanchard because I watched The Act on Hulu,
Okay.
which is this
The
like
Act?
yeah, it's called The Act, and it's a dramatization of real events.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Gypsy Rose Blanchard
right.
Okay,
Right.
I've heard of this.
I know
was
this.
was a child,
I saw this.
and her
documentary.
mother
I watched
had
it too.
it's called
Munchausen
Munchausen's
by
by proxy.
proxy.
Right. So her mother had
Is
Munchausen's
this the
by
one where
proxy.
she couldn't walk and she fell off the?
She could walk the whole time, but her mother kept her in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Her mother put her through all these procedures, and she ended up finding a guy on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And so
Okay.
but
I
like,
watched it.
I had no idea. It was,
Yeah,
first of
yeah.
all, I watched it not knowing it was based on a true story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watched the whole thing. I was like, what
The fuck,
fuck is
yes.
happening?
It's crazy
Couldn't
shit.
look away. Like, this is
Yeah.
not the genre that I usually look
Yep.
for in television. Like, I'm looking for happy. I'm
Yep.
looking for uplifting. I'm looking for if they can sing and dance, even better. You know what I mean? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
want.
Yeah, but you and Al talk about finding horror stories all the time. You enjoy
Oh, yeah.
watching.
No. He talks about it, and I go, because
Oh.
I don't watch
Yeah.
scary
Because
movies.
I don't watch scary
Yeah.
movies either.
I don't watch horror stories. Like, I don't like.
But that
I don't
shit I'll
love true
watch.
crime. I don't.
Oh, I
I don't
love
love
true
that.
crime.
No, I don't love
Oh,
true
I
crime.
love all of that.
I don't.
Yeah.
I want my
don't like it
entertainment
either.
to be fictional.
Sure.
I want there to usually be a happy ending or an interesting ending.
Or a song.
Right,
Yeah.
if there
Song
are
and
songs.
Hakuna Matata.
Right.
Does it mean no worries?
Kinda.
So yeah, like that's what I want
Casadiga.
out of entertainment,
Yeah.
and I was because right now we're in this like weird entertainment desert
'Kay.
because all
Right.
of the network stuff
Right.
for the season is ending,
Right.
and none of the cool summer streaming stuff comes out until later in
sure,
June.
sure.
So we're in like a dead zone. So I'm watching like dumb shit like Catch-22 and like, shit that nobody should watch. Because Catch-22 is awful and it's based on like a terrible spin-off of MASH and it's like a remake. It's awful, but I'm still watching it because that's what I've got. So yeah, so I like tuned into The Act late one night because I was like, I got nothing to watch. I'm gonna watch this. And the first one, I was like,
Yeah.
I was hooked.
Sucked
Patricia
in.
Arquette is brilliant.
Oh, is she?
Patricia Arquette
Okay.
plays the mother.
Yeah, she is brilliant.
Brilliant. And I had no idea that it was a true story. I had never heard of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I had never heard of the story as it like happened.
Right.
And I got completely sucked in. And it wasn't until the next to last episode that I realized that, oh fuck, this actually
Yeah.
happened and these are real people.
She had like a whole closet just full of medications.
Yeah.
Oh my
like
god.
an entire
So much-
linen closet full of fucking medications.
Just
I watched it because you told me to
Awful.
watch
And
it.
it gives
'cause
me
I-
anxiety
I didn't-
and
I was-
kind of
I
like
was not- I was
like
not
the meth bugs to
processing
even
that.
think about
And
it.
the
It's so
horrible
gross.
thing is that is a condition that's
Oh.
we've had more than one story like
Oh,
that.
Well, sure.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
you
They're
watched the
disturbing.
movie that was made about it.
Yes.
It's a series, but yes.
Right, but then
Yeah.
I watched a documentary, where
documentary.
they actually interview her in prison.
Yes, that's
Right.
it.
And I saw some of those clips and I just couldn't.
Oh.
Like I
Yeah,
just
I watched
cannot.
the same thing.
I can't let it be real.
And you can't even. It's difficult to hold her accountable. Meaning you can't feel bad for her because she was the fucking
Right.
victim.
Right.
I sure don't. Yeah, she should have killed the fuck out of her mom.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
But the crazy, like the entire town supported them, built them houses and ramps and cars
Right.
and
They got a Habitat for Humanity house. You know
Yeah.
how fucking
Yeah.
hard it is to get a
Well, and
Habitat
not
for
just
Humanity
that, but like when
house?
she fell off the like the deck or whatever it was.
before they got
Yeah.
the ramp built or whatever.
Yeah, and then she like stood up.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the neighbors are like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
And she's like,
Hi,
"It's a
Maggie."
miracle," and then falls back down.
Oh, I don't remember that portion.
Yeah, I mean there was this thing where the neighbors saw her stand up,
Yeah.
Right.
and then she like, "Oh,"
Hi, Maggie.
and like her mom
And
comes
like had
running
to
out.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so crazy.
But she didn't really walk, but she could.
Right. She
And-
could always
Ru-
walk.
Well, and
But-
in the show, they reveal later that she like knew she could walk.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
she would get up in the middle of the night
Yes.
and walk around and do whatever.
Right.
But it was
So fucking
amazing
crazy.
how
so fucking crazy.
It
how
is.
she
Gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't
you
like it.
seriously, if you
frightening.
saw her,
I
would
have
have
to go home and
thought
watch Friends to make up
she
for
was
it.
she was
Right,
like
'cause-
10 years
Well,
old.
they, and
then
they
watch
made
a
her,
musical.
They made her
Yeah.
go through like chemotherapy. They convinced
To
doctors
give her
Yes.
Right,
chemotherapy.
her
Treat her.
mother convinced doctors
Yes. How
that she had all of
crazy.
these different conditions.
I couldn't get a hysterectomy for years, but that because I was too.
Yeah,
year-
that was
year-
disturbing
That's
too.
ridiculous.
The whole
where-
medical aspect.
Well,
that
see-
they
The medical
bought into.
aspect
so
is crazy.
Creepy, so creepy.
And that guy, oddly, I was having a discussion today with somebody else about somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like,
Was it Buddy Early?
no, it wasn't Buddy Early,
Alright.
but
checking.
it's one of those things where you were talking about how they could convince. You were saying you couldn't get a a surgical procedure
Yeah.
that you needed, and it's your own body.
Exactly.
This person convinced people to do shit to a daughter.
Oh my god, got all
but
her fucking teeth pulled
When she
out.
wasn't
Yes.
sick.
I
Oh.
still wonder about people who I don't get people who lose everything, go bankrupt, do whatever, fuck everybody else over, and then wind up
Better off.
better off. They get people finance
Yeah.
the fuck out of them and
Yeah.
give them cars and do shit. And I'm
Right.
like, how is it that people who play the game correctly
Right.
all get fucked over? But
Yeah.
if you lie and cheat and steal your way to the top, I just don't. It drives me insane.
Yeah. I'm
Everybody
with
needs
you.
a little raccoon dog in their life.
Oh.
Little
Yeah,
fat.
I like
look
that.
Look at him,
Yeah.
fat bastard.
I don't
Look
know
at
how we
him.
got on that
From-
tangent, but
Yep.
Look at that.
Look
worked
at that.
for me.
Little fat
This
dog.
is your brain. This is your brain on
Do we
drugs.
have Cat's wheel?
We
I
do. We
think
do. I'm sending it
she's-
right
Oh, good.
now.
Tick, tick, tick.
At this moment.
I want to do that.
This magic
From
moment.
this moment.
I have to-
Yeah, whatever.
I have to. Yeah. Well, Maggie just walked right in. She's.
She wants
She's
to be.
part
She
of the
saw the
show.
raccoon.
Well, she didn't eat when she was supposed to, and now she's pissed.
She wants some fucking
Oh,
raccoon
she
dog.
wants food.
Of course she does. But you know what she's not going to get right now? Food. Because I'm not getting it. You like grapes?
So she want a cherry?
You-
Because you can't have one.
Just
So
give
both
her
of
a
'em
corn
right
cob.
there.
Nuh-uh.
Give her a corn cob.
Bowl of cherries sitting right there.
Do you feel lucky?
Do
very
ya,
cute.
punk?
Do you, punk? Do you? Oh, let me
Sweet
get
little
great.
kitty.
Oh,
Like
she's
a really strange
she's
place
lovely,
there.
but
I feel
she's
all weird.
and she's
I
just
know,
happy right now that
Ugh.
somebody's touching
Yeah,
her and
that-
petting her. That's what she's.
When you see things like that, though,
wanted.
Oh yeah, she wants
like,
attention.
where you don't know, you think you just stumble upon a movie.
Right. I thought it was just like some fiction that some
Right.
some fucked
crazy
up asshole
fucker
like.
made up.
Right.
But of course, the truth is
Yeah, but
worse.
that's what's difficult because I have loved
So
like
awful.
Criminal Minds and all that kind of stuff forever.
Oh, I had
And
to stop
now-
watching Criminal Minds too.
Yeah.
I just could not.
And now when I watch it, I think, well,
Did you
I
start
mean,
having
it's out
feelings or
there.
suicidal
no.
tendencies, or do you want to kill people?
No, I was a teenager when I had those. But
That was about 15 minutes ago.
but the thing about that kind of entertainment is it really does it gives me anxiety and it literally keeps me up
Sure.
at night.
Yeah, me
Like
too. I
you know,
don't like
American Horror Story is a great series, and I had to stop watching it within the first season because I could not sleep
Okay.
anymore, and
It was
not
too much?
not because of nightmares, not
No,
because I was
right,
scared,
right.
but just like I could not sleep because I just had anxiety. I had all
Yeah.
of this like nervous
Pent up,
energy
Sure.
that I
hear
that I
that.
apparently don't know how to deal with.
Yeah.
My therapist at some point will deal with that, but
Sure.
I
Not
can
yet.
only pay her so much.
Right.
Not tonight, Berta.
Not today, Satan.
Oh my gosh! Well, I think we've got
Yeah.
the wheel in
Oh,
place.
sure.
Let's get the.
Let's do that.
Let's see what we got with the old
That's a
wheel.
half-assed
Show
project
us the
if I
cat.
ever saw one.
I wish we could show you the cat. I mean, because she's
I mean,
so
I'm not showing you the
cute.
cats.
Well, how? Where? Hang on. I know where the cat is, Doug. Thank you.
There, right here.
Like,
Doug's
which is right
pointing
here.
like I don't know where the cat
well, you were
is.
looking up there.
No, I was just trying to figure out how I can
the
show.
best camera angle.
Right,
to
the
see
best
Maggie.
camera angle for the cat.
You know what? If you had a photo
she like to be
on your
picked up or
iCloud
not?
of
Can I-
Maggie,
can
you
I
could just
pick her
put it
up?
on
Well,
the
you can-
screen.
well, yeah, she probably will, but she's not going to look very good against my shirt because she's a black cat and I'm wearing a black shirt.
And you're a black cat.
Hi,
Is that what
little
you're doing?
sweetheart.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness! Hi,
oh.
Maggie.
Hi.
Yeah, well, kind of.
Kind of.
Oh. No,
Hi. Put her up to the microphone.
She's a,
Get her headphones.
there
Get
you
her
go.
little kitty phones.
There.
There's the cat.
Yeah, and this is how you piss off Maggie by holding her like that.
She doesn't like to be held like
Well,
that.
now she's
Oh,
wrapped up in your
now
in your
she's
cord.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Let's.
Oh, this
She's
is
about to
gonna
go
be bad.
full on
Actually,
raccoon
no,
dog.
no. If she'll stay on your lap,
Yeah.
but you might want to get your headphone
Hi,
cord out
little
from under her.
baby.
There
She's
you
about
go.
to go
No,
full-on
she'll stay.
raccoon
She'll
dog.
pretty much stay right there.
She's so pretty.
She's gonna eat your face.
She-
Maggie's gonna eat my face when she
She's part.
No.
she's yeah. Would you quit doing that, guys?
We're
my
raccoon
raccoon dogs.
dogging. I mean,
Okay, that
wait, we
sounded
can't do
wrong.
that.
No,
That
it's
sounded bad.
too close to raw
That's
dogging.
right. Can't
Yeah.
do that. My bad. My bad.
Can't do that.
Yeah,
Huh?
my bad.
Oh well, yeah. You're touching her. You're petting her. You got to be here at 8 in the morning when
Yeah.
she's hungry and she thinks she's never been fed in her life. Just-
She is sweet.
And then the fat one, Marty, he's only.
See, I just love it when he does that.
Marty is hungry by
always
proxy.
my favorite.
Because he's dead asleep.
He's got starvation by proxy.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
He doesn't even care. He's sleeping somewhere, whatever. So he hears her start meowing. Then he shows up, and she howls like she's about to die, and Marty just like. "Meh, meh." And I talked to him in the morning. I'm like, "You're not committed, Marty. I need you to meow louder." Because I'm like, you're barely even trying.
Right.
He
He's like, "She'll do it for
like,
me."
she'll howl, meow, and he'll just like, You're like, come on.
Put some
Give me-
feeling
I
into
need
it.
you to-
I need
fucker.
some zhuzh.
Did she?
Oh, zhuzh.
No.
Did she lose? Oh,
Oh no, that's
Maggie's-
Maggie, not Marty.
Maggie's always been thin.
Marnie is the poor.
She weighed. In fact, she's
Oh,
lost.
there you go.
She lost a
There
little
you
weight.
go.
She
I
lost.
even did it.
She
She's
lost a
doing-
pound. She used to be 10 pounds. Now she's 9.
She's doing her Jane Fonda.
But Marty is 20 pounds.
I
Yeah,
even did
Maggie's
it.
the
I
little
just
one.
said, but Marty.
Yeah.
Really? That's
and
fucking great.
Marty would be easier to see because
Sold
he's
myself
gray.
I just sold my ass out.
Up the river, there
You're
you
gonna
go.
pull that.
I have a
you're,
new-
From
you're gonna pull
flat
that
to
glass
fat.
right off the desk.
My God.
All right, let's go. Let's look at the. Let's do the wheel.
Let's see this shit ass segment.
God
God in
damn,
heaven.
this is. I'm already exhausted. Here
Oh,
we go.
I'm so
tired.
tired.
Let's see what
I
happens.
can't
It's
even-
the wheel of the week.
Spin, spin, spin. Where it stops, nobody knows.
Mandy Moore, mountain climber.
So
Oh.
get this. I thought I was going to contribute to entertainment, and then I said no. I have a whole fucking segment I have to fill, so I bumped it
to this.
to this. You're welcome. Mandy Moore. So first of all, it's apparently been a terrible season on Mount Everest.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
People
Sure.
just keep
I
fucking
saw.
dying in the
Yep.
dead zone, and they're
Yep.
just going to leave them there and use
They
them as
have
landmarks.
overcrowding
Yeah.
on the top
Yeah,
of
there's
it.
so
Yeah.
many people trying
They're
to get
saying
up
that's
there.
not true.
They're just fucking dying.
I'm just telling you what they're saying.
Like 11 fucking
There's
people have
pictures
died
of it.
this year.
Yeah.
No, but they're saying that's not true.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, their PR people have to
Yeah,
say that.
they have to say that.
Everybody
but,
has a Sarah Huckabee
I mean,
Sanders
literally,
now.
it's like this big article
having
thing
a
of.
moment
I
there.
know. They're like,
Right.
That's
that's
like we're-
not true.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
okay.
not fighting you on that. I totally agree.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were flat earthing me.
No, not at all.
So Mandy Moore, singular woman
I
who
love
plays
that's a thing.
multi-generational people
Yes.
on This Is Us,
Yes.
also known as emotion porn,
Oh, totally.
on a Tuesday night.
Ah, fuck.
That's true.
It is.
It super is. Like if
God, it's
if
so
you have to cry,
It was like Parenthood.
go do that.
It, like,
Oh,
only
that was such
better,
a good
but I
one.
loved
And that one had
Parenthood.
Lauren Graham in it, so
I'm
way
with you.
more
Right,
invested.
right, yeah.
I
way
love
more
Lauren
invested.
Graham.
I love
We'll
Lauren
have to
Graham.
talk.
That's a fair
Yeah.
point. I love
Yeah,
Dax.
I bought her book. I haven't read it
Digress.
yet, but I bought her book.
Okay.
You're halfway there.
Talking
Yeah.
as fast as I can is
Please
what
do.
it was called.
Yes.
Find it on Amazon or your
There
local
you go.
book retailer.
Sure.
Anyway,
Kindle. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Go to Audible. She'll read it to you.
Mandy Moore, the This Is Us actress, who's only 35, which bums me out,
Oh,
has successfully completed her trek
interesting.
up to base camp,
Okay.
which is arguably the easiest part because that's where the people don't die.
Right.
Pre-death.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
the pre-death
But
area.
it does sit at 17,600 feet above sea level.
Wow.
By comparison, Phoenix about 1,000 feet.
Okay. Yeah.
Flagstaff 7,000 feet.
Mhm.
Base camp 17,000 feet.
Wow.
Very fucking high.
Mhm.
Yeah. She climbed right on up there. She says there's so much magic in these mountains. They represent adventure in the grandest form. And I'm like imagining Rebecca fucking Pearson talking
Yeah.
about it
Right.
now.
Right. That's a good call.
Yeah. She explained that the feat was far from easy, detailing the challenges that she faced hiking through Nepal's terrain in pursuit of the base of the world's tallest mountain. She says breathing at altitude, for instance, is not easy. Besides hydration and staying nourished, breathing is the vital key
To
in the-
really living.
to being alive.
Yeah.
And in the fight against altitude sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. It's a major takeaway that I will be employing. She says, back in the real world, whether I'm in the midst of a tough workout
Mhm.
or a weird day,
Mhm.
she says her mind is blown.
Sound effect.
She posted some shit on Instagram. But yeah, Mandy Moore, mountain climber. Who knew?
Wow.
Who knew?
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Mandy
Sure.
Moore.
Now you know.
Mountain climber.
The more you know. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, so we're gonna go to another.
Next.
I like it. I
Spin
like
the
it.
wheel. No whammies.
Trying to
Big
keep 'em
money.
quick
Yeah.
here today.
Yep,
Trying to
yep,
keep
yep,
'em
yep,
quick.
yep. I like it.
What do
Read
we got?
faster.
What do we got? This was the one that
This
I
one's suggested by
Oh.
one Clayton McKee.
I sent
Ah,
this
very
This
nice.
is
I don't know.
because I remember hearing years ago, and it's funny it happens because I clearly picked the wrong life. I did something terribly wrong because I see people that I mean I don't know what everybody's backstory is.
Sure.
I don't know what all of them do. Maybe they're drug dealers. Maybe they're hustlers. Maybe
They're in a gang.
maybe they're in a gang. You know how I'm in a gang.
Right. Totally. Well, your mom is.
Maybe they come from wealth and I don't know it. But some of these people ain't got jobs and I know it because you just know these people. Like, I don't know what they're
Talking
living
about
on,
Mike Chesworth.
but I see them. They travel constantly.
Oh yeah.
They're always going
mean like
here
Al
and there.
Perkins?
No. Al works busts his
He
hump.
does.
I get that.
Oh no, I'm totally
And
with
Al,
you.
and
Yeah.
Al, compared to these people, Al doesn't travel
Doesn't.
ever.
No, you're right.
In
You're right.
comparison.
You're right.
So I see all
I'm
these
just
pictures.
fucking with you.
They're always on a beach. They're always
Yeah.
at Disneyland. They're always here. They're always there. But in fairness, there are some that rarely ever travel. They go once or twice a year somewhere nice, blah, blah, blah. But it's one of those things that you look at, and if you're not careful with it, by scrolling through and looking at other people's vacation pictures, you'll start, because it's happened to me.
Oh, they've studied it. No,
You're
it's
like,
true.
yeah, no, I knew there was a study done about this where you get depressed because it's like,
Sure.
well, what the fuck's my life? Like, I got nothing.
What am I doing wrong?
Right.
Why
Because
am I
I
not
never
doing
go. Now, granted, I've always said before, I'm not the biggest one to want to travel all the time.
Right.
But I know it just seems interesting that I see a lot of people that every other week they're on a beach, and I have no opposition to them going to the beach. But it's like, what do you do? I don't know what you do to afford to go, like you were saying. You go to West
Yeah.
Hollywood, and it costs you an
Yeah.
arm and a leg
It cost me
to stay
$2,000
at
to
a
go
hotel or an
to have 3
Airbnb
days in LA.
or any of this stuff. But it's one of those things that you watch and you see what they do, and you're like, I don't know. It's an interesting feeling to just sit and look at your screen every day and scroll through and realize, oh, how come I'm not on the beach? How come I'm not here or there?
And
it's
some
just,
of it, I've noticed that a lot too. And some of it, I think, is prioritizing, right? Like a lot of my monthly budget goes to things that keep us here.
Okay. Right.
Okay, you know what I mean? It goes to the ridiculous rent that I pay in the ridiculous neighborhood that I live
SRP
in.
and
Right.
whatever,
My
yeah.
APS bill,
APS,
my
yep.
ridiculous Cox bill that just keeps getting bigger because I
Right.
keep fucking upgrading it.
right?
You know, my fucking my cell phone bill, like it just keeps.
Yeah.
A lot of my monthly budget goes to things that keep me here.
Sure. Sure.
And I mean, I have children in my life to consider and whatever. So if I were single,
No, Amina, they're not digital nomads. They are not.
right. But if I were single and had the job that I have and had the income that I do have and didn't spend my income the way that I do, I would have all kinds of money to travel and I would do that. You know what I mean? Like if I was living in a little one-bedroom apartment, even for, what exorbitant or rate they're charging for one-bedroom apartments here downtown now, like even if I were just living in that, making the money that I make right now, which is not a ton, doing what I'm doing, I would also
only
be able to
paying
travel
for the
like
one.
that. And only
Right,
paying
right,
for me.
right.
I would also be able to travel. So a lot of that is just prioritizing and deciding that that's where this chunk of your money wants to go.
Well, and I've not ever heard the term digital nomad.
I've heard that before.
So I'm assuming that because I work whenever I go out of town, that would be me.
You know what? It could
Similar? I
be. It
mean,
could be.
No,
If-
but I mean, like I'm on the beach. Ask Aaron. Like
No,
I'm
no,
on
right.
the beach
But-
with my
but
computer.
No, digital nomad is somebody who does it. Oh, that's all they
No.
do. They live.
Oh.
and
if
they
you
just,
sold your house
yeah.
and decided to just kind of wander as you saw fit
Okay.
and rent Airbnbs and rent a room here
Got it.
and live in a very nomadic kind of way, if you sold all of your physical things
Right.
Sure. Okay.
and only owned the things that fit in your backpack or your
Yep.
suitcase, your
Yep.
carry-on or whatever it was,
Okay.
and you spent all of your
Sounds
income
terrifying.
but again, get rid of all of those
Right.
physical bills that keep you here. Get
Yeah.
rid of that mortgage. Get rid of the power
Sure,
bill. Get
sure.
rid of the cable bill. Get rid of
Right.
whatever your bills are that keep you
Right,
here.
right.
Look at all of that money that you now have to spend to go places.
Right.
What a,
That
you know
makes
what I mean?
sense. That makes
Like
sense.
I think it's just a prioritizing and a letting go of the physical. You know, because do I fucking need the 2 armchairs and the bookcases
Right,
and the
right.
antique dining room table that I fucking hate
Yeah.
because the chairs don't
think
fit under
she's
it just
really
right. It's fucking
talking about
awful.
real
I'm really
things.
specific.
Yeah.
No,
Yes. Mhm.
no, I'm literally like
gonna
picturing
write
my
that
living room and going, do I need any of this
doesn't
shit?
like the table.
Note to self.
I hate that fucking table, and I'll tell anybody that asks me. I fucking
Well,
hate that
nobody
table.
had asked, but we have that down.
But now
We
you
have-
got it.
We wrote it down.
And
Hate
Annette-
that
Annette,
table.
you
Come
bring-
sit at it. You'll know why.
You bring up a point, Annette, but it's not what I'm specifically talking about. Annette made a comment that you're comparing your life to strangers. And the unfortunate thing is, all the people on my Facebook, with the exception of maybe 2, I know. And I see and I interact with these people frequently. I know where they work. I know they're a hairdresser here, or they're a retail there, or they work in an office. And a couple of them, for example, my friend Tyler. I won't give out his last name, but Tyler is amazing. He's busy and he's going all the time, but he works his ass off, and he's one of the people who can do.
Give the Tyler I think he is.
Oh, I know, you know
Yeah.
he is. he's one of those people who he's not a digital nomad, but his job is his laptop, and all he has to do is go wherever he wants to go. As long as there's a Starbucks or a Wi-Fi signal, he can do what he's got to do. He has to show up physically once or twice a month in a boardroom or in an office or whatever he's got to do. But it's one of those things that he's got to do. But no, I know these people. Like I might have seen them Saturday night, and then the next day, all of a sudden they're live on a beach somewhere, or they're in New York downtown. I'm like, how did you just do that?
Part of it's prioritizing. I mean, some of it is
Did you
financial
see
security, but some of it is just prioritizing.
The news story though about the people with the fake vacation photographs.
I've seen some of those.
I thought that was very interesting.
What did you specifically?
Well, people have these things like because they can't afford to travel, and now
they
the
stage
culture.
something.
Well, you can go now. There's these companies that will provide it for you, and so you will. It's pictures of you. I know that's what I thought you were going to do on this story.
No.
So
It's
we're
pictures of
green
you.
screen the fuck out of
No,
this.
it is,
and, like,
and they do.
It's
It's you in front of the Grand Canyon, the Empire State Building, and people post it on their Facebook page or whatever social media,
This is the
Instagram. So to be like, see,
silliest
I go
thing I've
on
ever
trips too. So it relates to what you're saying in an even more I thought that's the story.
in,
you were
in,
gonna
a, in
say.
a very Howard Hughes kind of way.
And so they're like, "Oh, look, I went to blah blah blah. I'm at the beach in LA," and they're not anywhere. But so you can sort of keep up with the Joneses of having travel pics on social media.
And you know what I posted last week was we'd covered a urinal at the bar that was out of order, and somebody pissed in it, and I took a picture of that. That's the glamour of my
that's
life
your
right
glamorous
now.
lifestyle.
I thought that was hilarious.
I have a picture in Paris, France. Well, I have a picture of someone who pissed on a bag.
Right. Yeah, that gets fixed tomorrow, by the way.
By you.
Wow, why did it take so fucking long?
It's happened on a Thursday holiday weekend. Plumber, exorbitant
sure. All
rates.
right.
So I put a new bag on it.
Oh, that's sweet.
We cleaned that up.
Right.
Put a
Cat
new bag,
works
but we
Good
put
for you.
the bag at an angle so if they piss on it again, it's going to run right on their shoes.
Oh.
That's how we fixed that bullshit.
Thank you, but it's not all perfect.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
not all what it cut out.
All right. So here, let's go. So
Lies. My life is as amazing
All right,
as
let's
I
go.
say it is.
No, but I mean,
Bullshit.
I'm
as
sorry,
far
we're
as
not done.
no, but I mean it's
No, we
very
were talking
sweet.
back in
and,
the chat room.
You know, and I do have the cute pets. That is very, very
That
true.
is true.
Thank you. But you know,
And it's only been 7 years. It hasn't been.
it's
a decade.
been 8 and a little bit more.
Eight-
But
eight
you know,
and 3 days.
yeah.
Fucking lesbians
And
have to count
7
every
months
day.
and 2
God
weeks.
damn.
But we didn't get a U-Haul on the second date.
But you count
Or
every fucking day.
Whatever.
People are like, "How long have you been with Sharon?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't fucking know."
But I do
Long
count every
time.
day, and I
That long.
yeah, but I count every day because I absolutely
That means a long,
long time. I don't even care to know
I
how
don't
long I've
fucking
been.
care.
I
Right.
count every day because I love her. And
Is she listening tonight?
no, not at all.
Criminy.
No.
Criminy.
You also count every car ride on the wrong day.
I know that's true. That's really true. That's true. But at the same time, I think that there are people that I know that will post things, social media, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, that I didn't know about this fucking picture thing. That's
Yeah.
just
Is
absurd.
that
to
crazy?
No, that's
or
crazy.
I'm not
what?
trying to judge people, but that's fucking absurd to me.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I'm gonna try and go on.
And
a
there's
lot
a
of
difference.
vacations.
You, I can see making the
saves
street.
you a lot of
Yeah,
money.
And
Totally.
there's a difference between those people that we all know that do 9 million selfies because they're narcissistic. It's not
Absolutely.
those people doing it.
Right.
Because they're legitimately,
Yeah.
like, they're with their family or they're
Right.
with whatever, and they're doing stuff that's just, it's not selfie stuff necessarily. They're just sharing their life, and that's
Right,
fine.
right.
But again, it's like, wow, you're gone again.
Again,
Right.
I
Gone
know.
again.
I see it
And you
all
can
the time.
like clockwork if you wanted to pay attention to, and anyone out there, let me just put this there, that if you want to pay attention, we're always gone from this time to this time and this time to this time and this time to this time. I really should stop putting that stuff on there, but
Yeah.
it really
Oh yeah, I
is-
never
it's-
post that I'm leaving because
but
it's
I mean,
like,
it
"Hey,
re-
come
and
around
I
my
don't
house."
really
Yeah.
either. It's
Come
the
rob
when
me.
It's weird.
when we're gone. I mean, it's pretty much like clockwork,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
And-
mostly because of her schedule with
Absolutely.
school, and I get that.
Right.
Yeah, but we know where we're going and what, and it's pretty much the stable stuff. But there are people when they put stuff on that I've noticed just recently. A friend went to Hawaii, and it looked like she was in Hawaii for almost 3 months. The way
Right.
that
But she
like,
kept posting
and,
pictures
right,
about it.
right,
Evolve,
and
yeah.
like today we did this, but she meant the day we were there,
There,
we did
right.
that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it
good for
just
her.
kept-
She really got a lot of
Right,
mileage.
she got a
out of it.
lot
Milk
of mileage
that.
out of it.
Atta
So I
girl.
was like, God, no, really? You're back home in
And they were
Minnesota.
saying that you even have to be careful how you post, like, so you're not so much of a douche, like really enjoying Hawaii or whatever. I saw this thing on like not how to do it, and then like to make people to not be a condescending asshole. It was like. Gonna be able to get away to Monte Carlo for a week. Anyone have any restaurant reservations?
Right,
no one
right.
has restaurant reservations for Monte Carlo because
Nobody's been.
two people you know in
Right.
your entire lifetime have ever even thought of going there.
Oh, I should
So
post
that-
like a,
yeah.
I'm going to Florence, Arizona. Anybody got me restroom dinner next to the prison? You know, I'm going to Casa Grande.
I'm
Actually,
going to the
there's a
Lockup
lovely
Coolidge.
diner
Cafe.
2 streets over.
Going to Coolidge.
I'm going to the Lockup Cafe.
God damn it!
Wow.
All right, let's spin the wheel
Spin
again.
it again.
See what
Spin it
happens.
again,
See if
what we
there's a
got.
raccoon on
I
there.
like
There's
it.
not, I should have put the raccoon
Raccoon
on there.
dog.
We got that one again. We have to do another one. Mandy Moore
Mandy
came up
Moore. We
again.
talked about
Fucking
you.
Mandy
Go
Moore.
away, Mandy.
Oh, abortion news. That's topical.
I know.
Finger
But
on
we
the
should
pulse.
always talk about it, and we should
on the
always
pulse.
stay
We
mad
should.
about it,
Yeah,
and we
we
should
should stay
encourage the
mad.
men in our lives to be mad about it.
I'm
Yep.
mad.
That's the key. We need to start encouraging the men in our lives to
Yes.
be mad.
I agree.
Mad.
That's
Yep.
what makes it real.
Right. Right. Yeah, because it can't be real if men aren't involved.
Yeah. Well, at all. And if they're not older and white.
No, but you
Right.
need them because not all women. There's the
No,
other
you're right.
false
You're
thing
right.
that drives me fucking crazy. Like, well, all the women are just gonna. There's a lot of women who are anti-choice. So
Absolutely.
Right.
that's what I
100%
meant.
right.
Is you
Yep.
need men to help legitimize in that
Yep.
regard to even the
Because it's
number
not
out.
legitimate if men aren't
No,
mad
it
about
is.
it. Right.
So you don't want the support of men.
No, of course I do. Yes.
Okay.
I'm just rolling my eyes at the
The
at
people
the idea
that
that
helps.
fuck.
No, but that.
I think it helps sell it
does.
to people who aren't on board.
It shouldn't have to be that way.
Oh,
Is why I'm rolling my eyes.
I agree with
But
you
I think
there.
There it
that
is.
when it comes to anything choice, that everyone has an opinion. You
Right.
cannot. You can be pro-choice, or you as a male.
The reason that it was on my mind is also because when I'm teaching that class on DV, there's the
Sure.
the paradigm shift now is that domestic violence is a men's issue,
Okay.
not a women's issue. So that's
Sure.
just so you know where I
Right.
was coming
Yeah, yeah.
from, and
Yeah.
it is saying that now men need to hold other men accountable
Yes.
for not sexually assaulting women or domestic violence or whatever, not just women saying right.
Right.
I think. I agree that the problem is that it should have always been legitimate when women are talking about it.
Right.
But having men wanting to stop other men from doing it or having men say
That's not
abortion
cool.
affects us, yeah, that's not cool.
Right.
Makes it, I guess we have to find a better word. Not legitimate, but more of a powerful argument. How's that?
Thank you for placating me. I enjoy that.
I got annoyed. I made a
I'm
post.
like a feminist.
I made a post.
No, I love it. You helped me
About-
out a lot last night with our talk.
It was a diagram that showed how simple a vasectomy was.
Oh
what
my
procedure
God,
was.
yes.
And I had I didn't realize when I posted it, and because my point of that was, okay, men, step up. You're part of the problem. That was where I'm coming from.
Don't
with
want
this.
abortion?
But
Snip, snip,
Oh,
motherfucker.
But
absolutely.
the second I posted that, people start coming at me about how, and I realize I'm not saying that a vasectomy stops rape. That's not what I'm saying.
Does not.
I'm just
It
saying.
does not.
I'm just saying it stops the abortion from needing to happen.
Exactly.
So if men were a little more proactive and participated in this game a little more, which they don't want to do because they're men and it's all
Right.
it's all the women's responsibility.
Right.
But we don't want to let you have the responsibility of everything.
Yeah.
Dumbasses.
Right.
But it was interesting to me that how I got chastised from that
yeah.
doesn't stop rape. That's not what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Cool.
Also, you'd never said that.
Right.
No, I didn't say
Right.
a vasectomy will
Right.
stop rape.
You know what stops rape? Stop raping.
Yeah.
Stop
men.
raping.
Yeah,
men who
stop
don't
it.
rape, tell them and quit
Yeah.
fucking raping her.
Right.
Right.
Or
The
do
only
whatever.
there's an
fucking
easy
do
way
that.
to remember. The only person responsible for a rape is a rapist.
Valid.
No one else.
Not
Super
me.
true.
We'll repeat that.
Not
the only
the
person
rapee.
responsible for a rape is a rapist.
Not the rapee.
I saw a great meme about the vasectomy thing, and the woman that it created it had put all of the things that they make women go through, the 3-day waiting period, the watch this, do all that. She
Yeah.
said, for your point about creating, she said, if we think about it, pregnancies are actually caused by irresponsible ejaculations. It's men's fault.
Right.
And so she said
Sure.
every man at the age of 18 should just be, and since vasectomies are reversible, should be given one. And then they have to go watch movies, get
Oh.
instructions.
Oh,
to
She
get
took-
their
that would be
shit back.
That
and,
would be
and if they don't
fantastic.
do that, they don't get to.
Too fucking
They have
bad.
so she turned it
That would,
around.
I've said
It
that
was
for years.
Brilliant.
If there was a way to sterilize people and you had to take a pill
Yeah.
to be fertile.
Yes.
Like
That's
for
what
men.
she was
Yeah.
saying.
I think
But
that'd be great.
That's very. Ugh.
I know, I get that, but what I'm
Right.
saying, because you know,
That's not a road we can go down.
at
because
18
that's
years
just- that's
old,
the same problem.
the guys are walking out of the house with a loaded gun, metaphorically,
Yeah.
and
Right.
they're just looking for some place for it to go,
Right.
And they don't have the mindset yet to realize you
They
can't
got
do
some
that.
place for it to go.
But
you
they
got
don't-
some place
but
for
they
it to
don't
go.
think like that.
Right.
No.
Right.
But it's just again, I would if there was a way that you could be sterile,
I know.
and then you have to pass a
5
te-
inches
You have to
past your
pass the
elbow. That's
test.
some place for it to go.
a competency test
Yes.
to have children,
Yes.
predominantly for men.
Because evidently you have to do all of that to have an abortion that now they don't even want you to be able to have.
Right.
But
you can get a gun
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Oh my lord!
I
Someone
might.
someone did a meme
I
about
might.
that too. What you
Sure.
should have to do to get a gun? It's the whole. It's I guess that meme thing that
Oh,
reversing
sure.
it
It
works
goes
really
around.
well.
Yeah, no, it does. But in all seriousness, like we need men
Yes.
to speak out and
Yeah.
say that these restrictive abortion laws are fucked up and not all right, and that
Yeah.
they won't stand for it in their state. Like when it starts to come around to Arizona, the men in my life in Arizona need to also stand up with us.
Yes.
Gay men,
Absolutely.
straight men, all of them. Like
Everyone.
we need men involved in this
Mm-hmm.
in this whole
Oh,
fight.
absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, and those fucktards that say that the man who raped deserves to have a say.
Oh.
Absolutely.
No.
Do you
not.
remember? Do
Custody.
you remember when
Custody.
I?
They're right. They're giving custody.
Do you I did a story on that.
I kind of recall.
and I because when I read that, I was as astounded by
Amazing.
that.
Yeah.
I was more astounded by that than
you
I
have
think
to
I
relive
was
that
stunned.
horror every
Yeah. I
can't
fucking
even
day of
imagine.
your
And
life.
I want to take.
They did a whole storyline about it on Grey's Anatomy too. It was awful.
Vice News did it. Vice News
Unbelievable.
did
It's
it.
back to Grey's Anatomy again.
These
Vice
people are
News
doing the work.
Did a segment on that and showed the mom dropping the child off at the exchange, like you're
Just horrible.
handing the baby
Awful.
over to
No.
the rapist.
Awful.
Let's do another spin, and
I
then
would kill him. Honestly, I would go to
right.
jail
Yeah.
and send my kid to foster
Yes.
care. I
Yeah.
would fucking
Yep.
kill him.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm not kidding.
I feel like I'm 100% with you.
let's
Yeah.
spin till we get a new topic here. See what we got.
Something lighter, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably
Maybe.
not, but something lighter.
We already did that one.
I don't think there's anything lighter on here.
Oh, there
It's
might be.
really pretty heavy.
Thank you, Netflix. What is that?
Oh.
Same topic. Netflix came out and said that they will not
Oh,
be
that's right.
producing things in Georgia.
They're pulling
I
out.
love that.
They're
They're
pulling
pulling
out.
Enough said.
Pulling
Enough
out.
said.
And didn't
Great
we say
show,
that
guys.
last week, or we were
No.
talking about this?
Maybe, I don't know.
No.
I
Well,
just read
about
it today. I wasn't here last week. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's right, she wasn't.
No, Tina Fey and the other one.
Amy Poehler.
Amy
Amy
Poehler?
Poehler.
They're not going to
That's
produce
it.
their
You're-
next
you're
thing in
absolutely
Georgia.
right.
They said
Good.
they're not going.
Yeah.
So now they're
Absolutely
trying to get Hollywood to saying no, don't go to any place that passed the crazy new law thing.
Yes.
They said fuck it, we're not making any movies.
Listen,
there.
the NCAA
Yes.
Oh,
blocked transgender bathroom bills.
that's right.
That's right.
Right. Hollywood can block
Oh, that's
abortion bills.
Right. I
Talk
forgot
about your
that.
100%.
blocking.
Right.
Oh,
That's
on
right.
Mina, I
Good
saw
job,
this
people.
on Facebook on a meme. If one man can have sex with over 100 women a year and get them all pregnant, a woman can only give birth once a year.
Right.
So
True.
there's the other
There, you know,
imbalance
there
in who's
was-
responsible for pregnancies.
Oh, sure.
I'm looking, and I cannot find
I don't
it.
give a
It's
fuck where
making
they
me
go for
crazy.
Queer
I
Eye.
had a story that I thought was fascinating, and it was about condoms, and I feel like it's in Africa.
Sure.
That they were because like it's condoms that have like not
I know.
razors or something, but I mean like that can be. It's not really a
Oh,
condom.
wait, are you talking about the for the rapist?
Anti-rape
Right.
kind of because you can't a woman
It
can't
locks-
necessarily fend something.
Right, it
And
locks onto their dick.
Yeah, because it has like almost I'm
Yeah.
gonna say razors, but sharp
Spike.
things.
It's-
the minute
right,
that they
it-
put their dick in
exactly.
there and try to
It's like those fucking
Yes.
Chinese finger locks.
fuck, I thought it was the
Yes.
coolest thing I had ever seen,
Yes.
and I feel like I just broke everyone's eardrums like aloe
No,
in the
that's-
lower pitch
that's-
because I was so excited
I've
about
heard of that too. The woman,
Oh, if
the
that
woman
could have
wears
gotten
it.
Brian Garcia,
and
that
the
would have just
second
been the
that-
best thing.
Yep, that's
Motherfucker.
Yeah, there's
that
that.
would have been the best
That's
thing.
crazy.
Ugh.
Yeah, and I had like this whole article. I have a picture. I'll bring it next week because I think it's great. I want to use it as my cover photo. On
Turns out I'm
Facebook.
not available next week.
Oh, the wheel will be
Well,
broken next week.
Broken
We're so sorry.
wheel,
Broken
How
broken
come?
wheel.
It's so it's brilliant. Why didn't someone think of that earlier?
Oh, I've heard
Goodness.
about that for years.
Oh, I haven't.
Well,
Obviously.
I saw that one scene in the movie Seven.
Oh, I like that movie, but I don't remember what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
I think
I'm
you
going to
remember.
go back and watch it.
You're gonna have to go back.
We'll talk about it after we get off the air. How
All
about
right
that?
then.
Thank you.
Nice.
My God.
Super fun.
I got
Thanks, Jenny.
I got cats to feed.
That's right.
Apparently.
Cats to feed, people to see,
My gosh.
Something.
hands to
Raccoons.
kiss, babies to shake,
Raccoons to meet.
right.
raccoon dogs to
I gotta
meet.
get
Raccoon
my
dogs.
adoption papers in order for my raccoon dog.
Jennifer Hudson to love.
Of course, yes.
And Kit
I
Harington.
hear. I hear Beyonce's pretty.
She is so pretty.
Something.
Stunning.
Well, we did it
Something.
without Al, but
We
thank you
did.
for filling in.
Thank
that
you, it was a
you
joy.
do
Thank
so
you.
often.
It was fun to laugh.
I hope you get to stay in the neighborhood because it's easy for you just to jump over.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be living in a trailer
Maybe
somewhere.
right behind the house. We'll figure it
Oh,
out.
that'd
Might
be
be
nice.
easier
That'd
for you
be
to
fun.
get here. Quick.
My
let's cut in.
gosh. How do you feel about a tent?
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh.
Good. We'll get it. We have Wi-Fi. All right. Well, as we wrap up tonight's show, let's leave you with
No,
this
no,
parting
there is-
thought. We will
Different,
see you
Jennifer.
next Tuesday.
Bye-bye.